All right. Think I am. Think I'm going live. I think I am live. Pretty sure I'm live. Yep. All right. Let me hop into this.
Point.
Oh, there he fucking is, finally.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Let me.
How you doing, man?
You fucking racist.
Hey, I'm the racist. Fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, I said
Demonetized in 5.
4, 3. Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3. Me.
I'm trying to figure out why this thing is not doing what it should.
Are you live right now, bro?
Yeah, I just went live.
Okay.
The camera's not working.
Yeah.
Oh, we're live? Hello.
Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to Eastern European Radio.
Something's backwards.
What the-
EOS or what does that say?
So I think.
Webcam utility?
Yeah, I think.
Webcam utility. Oh god, it's right there. But it's backwards on my screen.
Yeah, because I think I think Streamlabs is stealing my camera and fucking with Discord because it was working last night. So I'm thinking I'm just going to turn video off, go back to what I normally do, and then I'll just make myself tiny until I can make this fucking thing work the way it's supposed to. So,
Fayrex was in the chat. She's gone.
window capture? No, display capture? No, that's not it. What the fuck? It's not how I wanted this to go. Spout, instant replay scene, blah blah
This is
blah.
starting to resemble a military or a government project.
Oh, Combat, do you mind if I tweet this out?
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta figure this shit out anyway. I don't know why it's not. Game capture? No. VLC source? No. No.
What are you using? Streamlabs?
Yeah.
Oh man, you ought to use just OBS Studio.
Well, every time I try to do that, OBS lags like a motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah. And somehow. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, thank God. There we go. And I am going to move this here.
Lost 1. This is Lost 3. Are you Lost 2?
There. Perfect. God damn. Grid?
More than hell.
There, we'll do it on focus. That way everybody can see who's talking.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
There it is.
Okay, I gotta find out something, but I don't burst my bubble here. Wombat, I need you to do me a favor. Remove or just move for me your Cadia Stands box and the Warhammer box above it.
Move?
Black box there with the yellow whatever symbol on there.
My wax seal kit?
Yeah, if you could just move those two boxes for just a second, I gotta confirm something.
There you go.
His wax off seal and his wax on.
Gotta wait for it to catch up, I guess. Okay, there you go. You're removing it. Yeah, that and the Cadia Stands box. Let me just see. Okay, you can put them back. Awesome. Damn, still good.
Oh, hey, Inquisitor.
What what were you trying to confirm?
Nothing.
Ugh.
It's just an inside thing for me.
Okay, you gotta understand. He's got to make sure he knows every box of everything to do with Warhammer.
Oh yeah, I mean I do that.
With a box, but
Yeah.
We're gonna be asking about his copy of
I'll tell you the joke when it changes.
All right. There we go. All right, I can finagle this shit so that it
course, I'll be curious to see how long that Katie Sands box goes unopened.
Probably till like this weekend,
Oh, really? Oh.
which
Yeah, he's not like you, Badger.
I know. I was just gonna
He
say.
actually works on his shit.
That's rich coming from. Hey, I'm working on Necrons right now. Fucker.
yeah. I
Working on knockoff Druki.
I got it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start working on these, and I was like, oh, I haven't finished the one fucking Cadian that I started. That's what I was doing last night, and then yeah. Then I wake up this morning and that fucking video is taken off, and there's like 80 something comments and I don't know 1.3 thousand views. Like the first thing I see in the morning is this dude talking shit, and I was like, "What the?" All right,
that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. That guy is.
I went a little too hard, to be honest. It wasn't until later that somebody was like, "Okay, just chill out," and I was like, "All right, I'm giving this up." Like, I chose violence this morning when I probably should have just ignored it. Some guy was saying that he's against female space marines, but you know that my reasonings were wrong because Scars has a very tiny sentence where Malkador says that the Primarchs could have been female, and of course the Emperor says no, and he was trying to make that like it's canon, and I was like, okay, you can interpret that however the fuck you want. It's still not canon. And then this last little sentence that he puts in there is like, judging by your shelf behind you, it wouldn't matter if you boycotted Games Workshop anyway. And I was like, oh, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, see, he was okay. So
I took umbrage to that and started going ridiculously hard on him because despite this little tiny shelf that's behind me, given the last calculation that I did of all my shit Warhammer related, and my wife can attest to this because she's mad at it, because it is a very substantial number. It's upwards of 50 grand, bare minimum, and that's being generous.
Sir.
So, what happened?
I said, like, sir, just like outraged.
I like the guy that, or wasn't it the same guy that said something about I've spent 10 times what he makes on that channel? I'm like, dude, we've seen his financials on the channel. That ain't a flex.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small channel right
now. I even said it. I was like, I do this shit for fun. This is not my job.
I mean, literally, my grandson just got into the hobby. He spent more in it than that. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know nothing about that kind of money.
No, man, that's money I can't imagine. So.
I can't even imagine that kind of models.
Well, people have asked me before what I do, and I always just say I'm an IT manager. You know,
what is it you say you would do around here?
And
I take the specs from the engineers to the customer.
But yeah,
I wonder who might pick that one up.
You know, when people say shit like that, it's the equivalent of like the Show Minis crowd to me.
It is.
It's like, what the fuck does my one tiny shelf that you can see in my camera have to do with A, my opinion, B, I'm not wrong anyway.
Well, to get back to that quote you mentioned, it doesn't matter what Malkador said. It wasn't Malkador's project or decision. It was ultimately the Emperor's. He's the one that knew exactly what had to be done. So saying, well, Malkador's decision is the same as the Emperor's, no. Because even the Emperor had shit that Malkador didn't know.
You know, at the end of the day, the fact is, and even in that video, everybody wants to make it the female Space Marine argument, even though the point of that video had nothing to do really with the reasoning that people have for wanting them or not wanting them or what have you. It's the fact that they sit there and they say, we want to bring women into the hobby using this method, and then you turn around and do shit like that. And it's like, okay, what kind of women are you trying to bring into the hobby exactly? You know?
Are you talking about the muscle mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that shit, it's so fucking weird. I mean, it was such a weird fucking thing to post anyway. I mean, and
Cerberus French.
yeah, but I mean, the whole point being is this is also the same people that will tell you lore doesn't matter except when it's theirs, and then objectifying women is wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they just, well, it's concept art. Nobody talks about concept art as big muscle mommy.
And saying that this is what the female Space Marine crowd is afraid of. It's like, no, dude. I first of all, I don't want female Space Marines for the sole purpose of fucking Coomer art. You know, it's like, give me a good reason. I have constantly said this in everything. Give me one good reason from Games Workshop how they would implement it, and I would probably be on board with it, right? Even the kit bashing, I'm on board with that shit too. You want to make fucking headcanon art of this shit? I'm on board with that too.
Okay.
What I'm not on... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
What I'm not on board with is these motherfuckers sitting on social media every single fucking day saying the same shit over and over and over again. And then when you disagree with them, you're somehow a fucking bigot or a racist or whatever, misogynist. It's fucking exhausting. Honestly, I'm tired of the whole fucking argument at this point.
Well, I had one guy, and he was, and I could just, we've all seen it. He was trying to play the middle of the road. He's like, well, what? I don't have a political agenda. I said, then why do you want female Space Marines? And he said, because. I said, because isn't a reason to wreck 40 years of lore. And the guy wouldn't, his excuse was because. And I'm like, okay, you're being disingenuous at this point.
Well, that's what
you have a reason.
That's what it always is. They always boil down to, oh, well, why not? Okay, well, here's why not. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. Well,
that's what he kept saying. He goes, but I don't care about the lore. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter what you fucking care about. This isn't just your call.
Right. And, no matter how objective you want to be, how middle of the road you want to be, they're always so fucking rabid about it, too. It's like, oh, well, if you don't like it, then you must hate women. It's like, how do you make that leap of me enjoying a hobby, liking something, knowing the lore behind it, being able to explain shit, and me saying, hey, they've already said no, they're not going to do it, here's why, and you fucking crying about it on social media? How does that make me wrong when I'm just giving you the facts?
Well, and that's why I kept telling this guy, and finally I'm like, you know what? Piss on you. I'm putting you on mute. I'm not going to keep going through this. You can't give a valid fucking reason other than because. And then he's like, oh, what are you being so aggressive for? I said, because, again, you're being disingenuous. And then somebody else jumped in and was like, well, come on, you don't have to be so harsh. I'm like, yeah, I do. Because I've seen this argument 1,000 fucking times. I used to be very, very big into political debate. And it's the same excuses they use over there. Well, why not just do it this way? What could go wrong with it? About 1 million different things could go wrong. And this has all been tried before by other countries, other administrations, whatever. And we're not going down that road. Okay? And I'm old enough to remember when we've tried this shit before.
Well, I want to interject something here. When I read that with Malcador, I'm going to tell you right now, the first thing I thought of, and this is before I ever got into this female Space Marine argument because I didn't know anything about it, right? What I read was, are they trying to bring something else in? Is this a test bed here to see how people respond?
Might be.
And I think that's what they're doing. I think they're throwing little things in there to see, who might bite and whether or not it's viable for more money.
I think it was less of a test and more of like they were putting it in there. That way, when they do, like as kind of like a hint, it's a hint here, a hint there, and then if they want to do it, then they can do it.
I'm getting divorced, guys. My wife just said she's all for female Space Marines. She's laughing at me though.
Well,
all right. Well, I got a couch if you need to stay down here, man.
Sad to hear half your models are going away.
No, that won't happen.
One of the things I've realized is that no matter how well thought out you try to say something, right? In that last video, I wasn't trying to start any arguments. I wasn't trying to, I wasn't even trying to take a side. Again, all I was doing was presenting facts, right? So that argument being perpetuated every single day, and then they go, look how mad they are. right? All I kept getting from people was, "Oh, well, you're mad, you're crying, you're mad," and it's like, I'm not mad.
That's
At
all
one
they
point,
have.
at one point, you just get tired of hearing the same shit over and
Yes.
over and over again, and finally, it's just like, all right, I'm gonna stop being nice, right?
Welcome to my world.
But that's what
This
they
is
do.
where I'm at. This
That's
is
what
where I'm
they're
at.
trying to do, though. They're trying to get everybody to get so fed up we just bow out of the argument.
Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not gonna happen though.
Well, we all know Bits, Serb, all of these major social media accounts of the woke hammer side. Half of the shit they say is to get a rise out of people. In fact, I would argue that an overwhelming majority of the shit that they say is to get a rise out of people. But you know, if we do it, then we're the bad guys, right?
I think there's more to it than that, though, because they can get a rise out of people for really, saying anything. But if we bow out of the argument, then they have the case or the ability to say nobody's disputing this when they go to Games Workshop and try to get the change.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and that's the only reason I stay into the fight. Because Badger saw this, and it was a different topic, and it was basically something to do with the military. And Badger could tell you this. This guy kept saying, "You're furious. You're mad." Same tactic, exact same tactic. You're furious. You're mad. I'm laughing. He and I are laughing at this guy because it's so pathetic. But all he could say was, "You're mad." What was the word he was using? Malding?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is.
Mauled means to like have that's Zoomer slang. It's my understanding is it's basically just like to be very discontent or malcontent about something.
Okay, and this guy's supposedly like 40 some years old, and he's using Zoomer slang.
Hey, I say it. I'm almost 40.
It's just, and then he kept throwing like regional Australian slang in, and I'm like, dude, you're pathetic. You don't have an argument. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so either he's a 40-year-old Aussie or he's a 13-year-old laser beam viewer in the It's one of those two.
But he couldn't make a decent argument. All he could do was basically, oh, you're mad, you're fuming, you're like, I'm like, dude, we're laughing. I said, you're literally claiming X, Y, Z, and we're laughing at you for doing it. So, but that's all they can. They don't have a legitimate argument anymore. They just throw out an insult, and then when you reply to it, they go, "Look at how mad they are. Look, they're furious. Oh, look at them."
Well, to them that is an argument because they lack the intellectual capability to formulate a effective argument, and they've never. I'm presuming, obviously, but the majority of these people seem like the types of people who have never really received any sort of pushback. So
Probably.
to them, so long as they're presenting it and they know, so long as they are right, it doesn't matter what kind of argument they present. And they know they must be right because they're on the right side of history. So it doesn't matter how well you articulate an argument because they will never see you as anything different than them due to a variety of factors.
The thing I did notice, and that I noticed from many of their things, that when they present stuff like that picture from Serb, they don't get support from it, which I find that very, very interesting. When we retweet it, we get hundreds, thousands of replies. They get almost nothing for presenting it.
Well, not only that, it's, again, how are you going to sit there and champion this cause of, oh, we need more representation in women in the hobby, and you people hate women. Oh, why are you scared of big muscle mommies? It's like, because I'm not viewing women through that lens when I'm trying to bring them into the hobby. I didn't.
Being weird.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't. Shadow said something.
I think he was talking to somebody
Sorry,
else.
I was reaching for something.
Oh, yeah. But
Something. I said, we're not supposed to think like that.
Exactly. And that's, one of the things I brought up in that fucking video is that same. Was I got my wife into it? Okay. Scratch the whole fucking female Space Marine argument. You know who my wife's favorite character is?
Who's that?
Yorks, right? I think I remember you posting about this on Twitter.
Gozgul?
Garrow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Garrow and Loken.
So the two kind of Boy Scout types.
Yeah. The
That's
two
cool. That's
the
cool.
two quote unquote not good guys.
The not good guys. But yeah, no, and well, the other thing that I find interesting, and it harkens back to the only argument they have, is they always go, well, you're a bunch of basement dwelling chuds, incels, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, almost all of us are in long-term relationships. So I'm like, okay, is this just more projection on their part, or is it literally all they know how to say?
Well, that's all it is half the time is projection. Literally, 9 times out of 10, it's projection of them. You're mad? No, I'm not. Oh, well, you're a bigot. No, I'm not. Oh, well, orcs are black people. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I'm not the bigot anymore.
Whoa, where did you get that one from?
Combat's right. I mean, like that. I don't remember who said it, but there's like someone that like looked into a lot of the ways that left-leaning people argue, or like the far extremist left. I'm not calling out like traditional liberals. I'm talking about like the cult crazy people. 9 times out of 10, when they make a character attack against someone, you can apply that back to them. Like in the case of Cerberus, it's like, oh well, you're just a porn-addicted loser, and Cerberus is clearly the porn-addicted loser. Jay argues, well, you're a doxer.
Yeah. What you just posted.
Shay claims that Azrael, to pick out a person, is a doxer. Shay actually doxes people. Bitch says that that we are all women-hating losers. We got Feyrak in the chat. What has he said about Feyrak? Like it's the same thing you'll see in like Marxists. They'll always preach about intellectual dishonesty. Inability to understand science, inability to like rationalize an argument, and then you can apply those things back to them perfectly because they just toss everything back at you. It's something to do with like the left-wing mind virus.
Well, yeah, it's literally you put them into a corner, and that's why you'll see them often change the subject as well. They will, if they sense that the argument has basically run its course or they've lost, they will suddenly turn the argument into something else, usually a personal attack, and then you're like, what is, hence the chud, the loser, the incel, the basement dweller, the things like that. And it's like, I was pointing out, well, I don't have a basement. I live in Florida. We don't have basements.
We have attics in the South.
Those are called pools. If you dig a basement in Florida, you have an in-ground pool. So, but yeah, and it's like, well, you probably don't even have a job, and I'm like, what? What does that have to do with what we were just talking about?
That's why I went so hard this morning when I was just like, oh, fuck you, dude. It's like
you were pissed. You were big pissed.
I was less pissed and more annoyed because I was like, I haven't made any indication of like in none of my videos have I made any indication of how much I make or try to flaunt my collections and all this other shit. People ask to see it, I show it. But like, I'm not going, oh, well, I've spent, 10 grand on miniatures. Therefore, I am the superior hobby doer. Yeah. What I do and what I spend my money on is because I like it. Right? That's why we're all in this fucking hobby, is because we like it. So, I'm not
responsible with money.
Yeah, that too.
We didn't pick up a cheap hobby like crack or airplane collecting or something.
Green Army Men.
Yeah,
Army Men.
And to top it all off, I hate that show minis term that they like to use, because what the fuck does that matter? I didn't buy my first mini until after I had a full-blown fucking library full of 40K books, and then I decided I needed something to do.
That's what I'm doing. I'm collecting the library.
Well, in Games Workshop, and it's right on their website, has explicitly stated all the different portions that constitute the hobby.
Yeah, and I know some people like to fuck with Shay about that. Be like, oh, well, you only do this thing. I'm not in that camp. No. I'm in that camp of, is if you're interacting with the hobby in any sort of meaningful way, then you're not a tourist. If you're, if it's something you like and it's something that you're interested in and it's something that you're, actively enjoying, for lack of a better term, for some of these people. I don't even know if they enjoy it anymore. Then you're not a tourist in my eyes.
Well, yeah, and I tend to use it a little differently. If you accept the hobby for what it is, the lore, the figures, the game, whatever it is, if you come in and try to use it as a political bludgeon, or you try to change it for political reasons, to me, and even I don't think tourist is necessarily the best term. I'm more a fan of locust. They're like locusts. They just come in and consume.
Well, call it what it is. What
synonyms?
Call it what it is. What it is activism. Plain and simple. They're fucking activists. You don't have to use a word like tourist to describe most of these people. They're activists first and foremost.
That term, though.
Oh yeah,
they're proud of that term.
Yeah, and I mean, something that I brought up in one of my other videos is that whole, if you're looking at everything through a lens of social justice constantly, you're always going to find something to be mad about. Because, the world's not perfect as much as people want to pretend it is and that they can make it perfect. No, you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
I mean, like you, I'm collecting my library and I'm focusing heavily on learning as much as I can, learning the lore. And that's what I put a tweet earlier. I said, I just finished Our Martyred Lady.
That's a good book.
5 hours of fucking amazing audio. Well acted, soundtrack, the whole night. To me, it is as good as Hell's Reach and some of the other top books.
Have you read The Triumph of St. Catherine yet?
It's in my it's in my stack of stupidly high stack of books.
Or
so I'm going to jump ahead and read that. So.
If you mentioned the audiobook for Our Martyred Lady, the audiobook for The Triumph of St. Catherine is actually really good.
Okay, I might have to get that.
Hey, you promised me you're going to read Brothers of the Snake. Damn it.
I promise everybody I'm going to read something. Otherwise, they yell at me. But I finished it and I'm like, how could you listen to that and go fluff? How could you listen to something that great and then just go fucking fluff?
I don't think that they do. I think they just read the wiki.
I'm starting to wonder that myself because you rarely hear them talk about the books.
Well, yeah, and even if you do bring up the books, what was it they say? Lore doesn't matter; it's just fluff.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably the term that most gets under my skin, and now they'll probably use it against me more. Is fluff? The word fluff. I'm like, what the fuck do you call? Badger and I were talking before we got on here that I said, I think GW is missing the boat by not making a good tabletop role playing game, not like the feline. Like the ones they have now that are just they're rule choked and they're kind of discombobulated. Keep it in-house, design one in-house, do it like D&D Beyond online. I think it would be very, very popular. I could be wrong.
Oh, look at Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is fucking fantastic as an RPG.
Yeah, it's taken off.
It is great.
So do something like that. They have the money. Just do it. Just create that system.
I really like CDET's idea, actually.
Tap into the lore.
Well, they didn't
the Roll20 thing. Well, no, I meant more. Sorry, I misunderstood what you meant. I meant for like the Warhammer stuff. Like make a Roll20, like where you can get your army codexes and your rules and stuff like that, and like build your lists in Roll20 or not Roll20. D&D Beyond. You said Roll20. I'm thinking D&D Beyond. I am an idiot.
No. I'm thinking D&D Beyond, but I'm thinking to get the lore involved, you need to start getting people more into the role playing and understanding of the world aspect. We've already know how to build armies. Hell, Badger's figured that out in Tabletop Simulator.
Wait, have you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm talking about getting the tape, getting the lore, the role. I'm a freaking role playing nerd. Okay,
nerd.
I want some tabletop role playing good stuff, not that Fantasy Flight and the other shit they have. Get a good, solid, knitted together rule system. I would say, and I'm just going to use a comparison, something as kind of knitted together as 5th edition, but not like 5th edition, if that makes sense. So, but Yeah, stuff like
I
that.
gotcha.
You know, a coordinated, well-designed, cohesive set that's going to involve not just the tabletop, because frankly, everything already is the tabletop. But let's get some of that lore working for them.
I mean, yeah.
I wonder if the reason they don't do that is the focus is on. I mean, I get it. The book, you know, I totally agree. Books cost money, and they're making, in my opinion, a lot of money on it. May not be, we may be wrong, but
No, they're making ridiculous amounts of money on novels right now. I mean, we were reaching like sneaker scalper levels on those books.
right. But I'm saying I think their main focus is on the tournament scene, where the high turnover rate of armies, you know, is causing people to buy. Not just off of eBay, but I mean, you know, they're like, oh, you know what? I'd like that, but I don't want a used set. I want the metal set, but I'm gonna, you know, buy new. That's what I think.
Absolutely, like you spend $2,000 to get the best list there is. Let that be around for like 6 months, and then paychecks come around and get them buying the next thing.
Yep.
Isn't that like that's always been a thing, right?
Well, I mean,
not always, but it's more prevalent now.
we all know how much Games Workshop blows money.
You're right.
I plead the fifth.
I do think a lot of people don't realize that it's they don't give a flying shit about female Space Marines. It's the control. It's what they've done to D&D. It's what they've done to Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC. It's the shit stuff. I mean, did you see the latest announcement about Star Wars?
Yes.
The director who wants to intentionally make men uncomfortable.
Yes.
Bro literally said they didn't learn their lesson, and he's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you know,
it's
your lesson, old man.
It's all about winning for them. That's what it boils down to. They want to win, and
it's all about destroying the current culture. It's all this like Maoist bullshit to remake the culture so that everyone likes their BS ideology.
Or you're beaten into submission to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to do with you guys while you're here is I have been intentionally avoiding reading the comments on that video.
Oh, wow.
So
that one thread.
Yeah, outside of that one, I was like, I'm going to wait until the algorithm stops and then I'll read them. So I wanted to read them with you guys. Because I think, I don't know, I figure we could talk about most of the stuff that people are saying. Hopefully.
Only if we can have a picture of a muscle mommy on the screen.
I can do that. I can take care of that.
I don't.
It's like, no.
I was fucking with what was it, Nick last night, because he was like, I've seen that goddamn picture 22 times today, so I went ahead and showed it to him again.
My personal favorite, people will say, this just showed up in my feed, even though we have no mutuals. And I'm just tired of looking at it. Then fucking block and move on.
So Savage Brush is absolutely correct. I think a lot of people don't realize WoCamera isn't actually there to get a female Space Marine line or to change the lore to suit them. They're just trying to stop the hobbying. Absolutely.
Yeah. They don't want the hobby.
Well, they don't want us having fun.
No. They would rather they would rather burn the village down they will burn the village down to save it.
I mean, they've said that.
10 points to the people that get that fucking reference. But yeah.
I mean, they flat out said that. Yo.
Yay to SOB Muscle Mommy or no Muscle Mommy?
I don't. That one. That should be fine. Fuck it. They're not. They're not going to give me money for this shit anyway, so fuck it. What do I care?
That one, I'm like, okay, Sisters of Battle. That's okay. Wrong barracks, guardsman. No, right barracks.
I think it's yeah, exactly. It's the absolutely the correct barracks.
You know, my whole. I don't see anything either.
It's because the prawn makes your brain rot.
You gotta click watch now.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move my face over.
Yeah,
there.
we don't want to see you.
I'm gonna censor it. I'm gonna censor it with my head so that people can't ogle Ogle the
Oh,
sororitas.
hey, drunken guardsman, welcome to the chaos.
There we go. I'm okay with that.
Drunken guardsman.
Guardsman is somebody else dipping his toe, for those that don't know, into the cesspit of 40K discussion.
Poor bastard.
You poor bastard.
Dude, if you want me to get one with like a burqa on her, I can do that. Like the stream's got like a 30-second delay, but I could do that if you
Well,
want.
I don't know what the YouTube rules are. I don't know if this is too not safe for work or.
Well, I'm just not showing anything.
That's true.
Bro, you
and-
could find actual like
Oh, there she is.
pornographic material on this site directed towards children if you wanted to.
I mean,
Disgusting.
I might as well cater to the degenerates now. You know, just be like, fuck it, we're going full.
But they're,
We're going full Coomer.
We're not,
they're
not
degenerates.
degenerates. We're not degenerates. We're just
stream is
debauched
over.
individuals.
All we're gonna hear is smack. Ah! No, honey, I didn't mean to.
Not the PC.
Beat the shit
It's,
out.
it's not mine. I love my wife. Oh man.
I found this on Twitter and I love it. It's actually like really well made in general.
I'm just gonna say it's like, oh god, I hate to even say this, but it's actually really well done.
No, it like that. Like if anyone thinks like Vasquez,
Guardsman
from,
says I feel
Aliens
dirty
2.
already.
You are dirty already.
Good.
There we go. Now I can. Everybody can enjoy.
Water for you there, drunken guardsman. That'll clean you right up.
Oh, and poor guardsman had to nuke his own Discord because I believe, as he put it, the Slaneshis found him.
Dude,
Oh, poor guardsman.
who was it? Shadow was like, oh, we were arguing with a commie, and I was just like, what? What? All right, I guess. I don't know where you came from.
An actual commie.
I'm in through your through the link you got on YouTube. If you want me to take, okay, yeah, I can turn her off if you want me to.
Oh, I don't care. I just, well, god damn it! I just fixed my goddamn window so that you can have it up.
You're gonna turn her off. What are you gonna talk to her?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna use your best line on her. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I want female space marines.
That'll turn
That's
her off.
that's the line. That's the line you use.
I'll get him shot like a commissar.
I was gonna make a joke that like my worst is not as bad as my brother's best because I've heard some like pretty fucked up ones come out of my brother's mouth, but nah, female Space Marine, that takes the cake.
Oh, speaking of commissar executions, I am, and this is completely unrelated. It's just tangential. Is when that latest gameplay trailer for Space Marine 2 dropped, and you see Titus walk by a commissar ordering a fucking execution of deserters. I was like, I need this goddamn game, like, right now. Like, why? And I was mad. I was like, why the fuck is he still moving? No, watch the execution.
Turn around.
Samurai. No, I can't wait for like that game to come out, and then you get all like the video game reviewers hopping on, and then just being like, "Wait a minute, we're fighting for the faction that Twitter says is fascist."
Oh, no. Oh, that's...
Like, I wanna-
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be on fucking Polygon. It's gonna be on fucking Kotaku. It's gonna be on Bell of Lost Souls. There are no good guys in this game.
It's gonna be a 0 out of 10 because it's not like Battlefront 2, where they have like, we got an Empire campaign. Effects to the rebels like 2.
I'm such a nerd. When you said Battlefront, my mindset heard Battle Sector. And I'm like, what Empire campaign? Where?
In the Battlefront 2, the rebooted one.
Oh, I
The
know.
Versio
It's just,
campaign.
I don't even think of Star Wars anymore. I used to be like the massive Star Wars nerd, and I'm like, shh.
I was too. I mean, one of the first books I ever read was Lord of the Rings when I was younger. And then
Yes.
right outside of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, Silmarillion, and all that, then I got into Star Wars, you know, before the fucking prequels even came out. I mean, we're all old here except for Shadow. Shadow's
I'm not.
the only fucking Zoomer allowed in here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know,
Even I test that rule.
and then seeing the way that went, it was like, all right, I'm done with this. You know, I I had books coming out of my ass for Star Wars. I'm talking, I was full-blown lore obsessed.
Oh yeah. One of the first paperbacks I remember getting was Splinter of the Mind's Eye when it just came out. Now that's going back a little bit.
I don't think I ever read that one.
Yeah, literally Luke and Leia are on an adventure and encounter Darth Vader on a planet. And it's where you first really start learning about the Kyber crystals and stuff like that.
Oh.
It's the first time they really start discussing it and how the Force cannot be, it's not this kind of set in stone thing.
Is this before or after Return of the Jedi?
Oh, this would have been well before. This might have been right. This might have fell between. This might have been around the time of Empire coming out. So
they were on an adventure, okay.
But yeah. So
yeah, I want to read the comments.
Oh yes, please. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry for distracting you, man.
No, this was impromptu for me to vent session because I can only contain so much cringe within before I finally start letting it all go with expletives.
Look at you posting cringe.
Let's see. So the latest comment was somebody saying, I believe the only type of demanding change in the lore is making everyone wear helmets or bolters. They have stocks. That's it. That's not bad.
Okay.
I'm not following.
I'm thinking they want everybody to have helmets and bolters.
Quit taking their helmets off, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I can get down with that.
And bolters should have stocks.
Yeah. Actually,
I can't get that.
I don't know about that.
I'm with the bullpup everything crowd.
I was just gonna say, let's piss off Big E and say bull up everything. Watch him jump in here. Fuck you.
All the bullpups.
Isn't correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the design of the bolter to be like it's designed to fit in perfectly, like on a spot with the power armor to effectively control recoil?
Yes.
Okay.
But what about bolters that are not designed to be used in power armor?
Well, fuck those dirty peasants who don't have power armor.
Ors.
Let's see.
Sorry, I've got a Bretonnian model like right next to me, so I'm probably gonna say some pro feudalism shit.
This guy says, reasons why there should be no female space marines. Lore consistency. In certain fictional universes, the lore or backstory may explicitly state that space marines are exclusively male due to specific in-universe reasons. Introducing female space marines might be seen as an inconsistent with established lore. Oh man, this dude wrote out a whole dissertation. Holy shit.
Sounds like a bot.
He wrote out a liberal meme. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but
Okay, so that's a bot. It's a bot.
but this thing, if YouTube could had bullet points, it would have bullet points. Like, this is incredibly well thought out.
No, yeah, that's a bot. I've encountered those things before.
Is it really?
They'll like, no, like that's how like a bot. I've encountered those things before, and I was told by a friend that is a bot. Like that type of thing is a bot because I've encountered. I was complaining to a friend one time about how like these people just keep posting like essays. Like I type wordy things, like 3 or 4 paragraphs. I've found things that are like 7 or 8 paragraphs long, and they're like, bro, it's a bot. And then they like put it out like the sentence structure and like the way the argument's being framed.
They
like, that's a bot.
ChatGPT'd it.
Possibly I remember this was happening before ChatGPT.
Or somebody just has a copy paste response for every female space marine video that happens to come out.
Could be.
Too.
All right, we'll circle back to that. I'm quoting my favorite White House spokesperson there. Let's see. It always comes back to power. Cerberus took the not safe for work angle, but ultimately they want power over the hobby, and changing a major aspect of it like this would make them happy because they got one over on the existing fans. That's about right.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we already said that. Yeah.
That's what the useful idiots want.
Somebody says his Pride Marines are the cringiest shit too. Right underneath that,
Well made, they're just cringe.
Rainbow Space Marine, Sladeshi Heresy. What does it say? Oh, well, hold on. That same guy that wrote the dissertation. Oh, it's a different Black Templar, apparently. Says, I don't mind female Space Marines, but having it forced on people is something I don't agree with. The only reason I even have any models that are female Space Marines is because I kit bash Stormcast Eternals, fucking Age of Sigmar, and turn them into Space Marines, which I've at least figured out how to explain their existence as an experimental force in my army, since luckily my army is based around one of the missing legions, which have no official lore. I mean, that goes along with the headcanon stuff that nobody has a problem with, you know.
I feel attacked because I'm painting Age of Sigmar right now.
We don't do Age of Sigmar here. And I am probably I'm one of those people that thinks Age of Sigmar was Games Workshop's solution to all this infighting over diversity, equity, and inclusion talking points. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. Don't get mad at me.
Well, look at what's going on with the old world. Look who's in charge of the Bretonnian Knights.
Who's in charge?
The redhead chick.
Oh. Well.
On the Pegasus, which typically only go to like dukes and their retinues because they're super freaking rare. Except outside of Paravon, I think. Metronoid got on my ass about that. I said Quinel's and it's not Quinel's.
I'm not gonna invest anything into the old world. When they killed fantasy, that was it for me.
I'm gonna get that Bretonnia book just because Bretonnia, I like reading the Bretonnian books. Also just to kind of gauge about like where they are in regards to wokeness, because like you can have progressive things in media and it not be trash. It's just most of the time progressive things in media is trash.
Well, yeah. You know,
sorry, I thought.
No, I was trying to figure out a way to formulate my point without sounding like an asshole, but you know,
Go right ahead. I don't care. I'm an
asshole.
I've had it up to about here with most progressives at this point. In fact, there are very few progressives that I can stand to listen to now, just because the ones that I do listen to have jumped ship from all the crazies, and it seems like a lot of the other ones have just turned out to be the crazy people. So, you know, it's hard to have a conversation with people like that. It's the same camp as like the female Space Marine crew. It's the same types of arguments, and it's just like, all right, this is pointless.
You rearticulate. I'm not saying like progressive people, but I mean like progressive content. Like the idea of like, for example, a bunch of like badass warrior women is kind of sort of progressive or like claimed by progressives. Out of the AOS novels I've read, Covens of Blood is one of my favorite, and that centers around a bunch of misandrist bitches. So like progressive ideologies aren't necessarily bad. It's just they suck at writing most of the time.
Well,
for taking us off topic.
No, I was gonna say to me, it just depends on the author. I mean, like even in like the 40K setting, there's a couple authors where it's like, I wish I didn't know this person's politics, but here we are.
We talking about Gav?
Gav is one of them.
Who's that freaking weirdo with the damn mohawk?
That's the other one I was trying to think of. Not Justin Hill. Justin Hill is cool. Yeah, ADB.
Yeah, he's...
Sucks because I like Betrayer, even though apparently it's a good book. It just doesn't really fit in with the Horus Heresy.
I mean, yeah.
Like, my first Horus Heresy book was Horus Rising, and then I got Betrayer because my boss was like, it's got some really good battles, and Latara Saren is queen. What he said. And I got it, and I loved it. And then I watched Arch's review of it, and he's like, this doesn't fit in with these books, and this character doesn't really work with this character, and I'm just like, oh, just heartbroken.
I try to avoid listening to book reviews because I kind of want to make my own mind up. And
I made my mind up.
Yeah. There's ways to tear stuff apart.
I was wrong. Mohawk guy is Mike Brooks. Oh, Drunken Guardsman got to it before me.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I mean more of like, It's like a lot of the stuff I liked in that, he's Lorgar pulling out those like two big battleships in like the opening chapters, and I'm like, that is like a sign of like the word bearers like planning for this and having like all these logistics and stuff like that like the Imperium wasn't ready for. And then Arch is like, it didn't really explain that well in the first book where that kind of ship shows up. It's kind of just a Bismarck ripoff and shouldn't have even had that one, but does have these two as well.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
there's
like,
a, there's a lot of things they don't explain very well in the Horus Heresy. So. But remember, the Horus Heresy doesn't really count. It doesn't have any effect with modern lore. So,
Oh, thank God you're being sarcastic. I was about to have a full blown spur gout over you saying that.
You could have a full tism.
Yeah.
Lupercal isn't a real last name.
Remember.
It's his title. If you read Horus Rising, it was given as a title.
Hortense Lubriderm isn't really important to the lore.
I can't. That's no, just
He's gonna throw me out. No,
I didn't.
You.
I was like, I did not spend.
Stay. You're not getting tossed out.
I spent entirely too much time reading those stupid books for somebody to say they don't matter, and that's no. I can't.
I equated it in one thread. I said it's literally like saying the American Civil War really doesn't have any effect on modern day politics. It's like, except that it does.
I mean, if they wanted to articulate the argument that, oh, well, you're spending all this time in a fictional setting that, I mean, you can get some morals out of, but fundamentally doesn't really... The money that you're spending on that is purely recreational and luxury items, and at the end of the day, from that angle, it doesn't matter, but at that point, you're arguing any hobby that doesn't produce some kind of useful skill, like, you know, carpentry or motorcycle maintenance, has no value. Which is bullshit. You know, you got to have a good mental health or you're going to jump off a clock tower. So I'd argue Horus Heresy does matter in that regard.
Well, but again, if it doesn't matter, and this is arguing back to them, if it doesn't matter, then why do you want it so bad?
Yeah,
because I want to ruin your fun.
Oh, yeah. I know. But I wish they would just be honest. We want to fucking make you miserable. Okay, fine. You want to be my ex-wife. I got it. No problem. I can handle that.
To be fair, some of them are pretty honest about it. And then it's just like, all right, you know, we know what you want. We know who you are.
And then when you call them out on it, though, they get all like,
no.
But, you know, we've talked about this so much. And I think, to be honest, everybody that's in the hobby has talked about it at least once. And when you're seeing it every day, and then you go, see, look, they're crying about it. And you go, no, we're responding with criticism to something that you are constantly doing.
But you're not allowed to respond. That's just it. You're not supposed to. Just be and that's why I love pointing out to these people. I said, you guys literally, one of the terms I hate the most that they love to use is pick me.
Oh, God.
Especially, but they're the ones acting like pick-me's. You'll see these little nothing accounts with literally almost no engagement, no followers, no nothing, will come roaring out of nowhere and just jump right in with both feet, attacking when their account really has nothing in it about 40K. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, they're being pick-me's.
It's just like that gamer on games dude. And I've looked at his channel. His channel gets no views. He blew up with a couple videos, but like all the shorts that he puts out, it's like 6 views. His videos that he puts out, it's a couple hundred views with 3,000 something followers. Now, if he's talking shit to somebody or he's talking shit about, you know, anybody that's right wing, especially when it relates to 40K, then the engagement goes way the fuck up.
Yeah. They're literally cultivating pick-me points with as I call them, and they get so mad when I say this, with the masters, with the woke hammer upper echelon. They're simply cultivating points, and they're like, well, you're doing the same. I'm like, who am I cultivating points with? The Legion. You've never met the Legion. Trust me. They couldn't organize a piss break without having an argument.
I mean, but you know, it's also
Legion, just to clarify, what are we talking about?
the Legion of Unpopular Opinions. It's a loose net group who basically have banded together, again, very loosely, to oppose the woke aspects of 40K. That's
Was
it.
this like Beaumont and those guys?
It's Beaumont, Lord Metalman. There's some other ones in there, but literally the only thing they agree on is that they don't like this shit. Otherwise, they would argue over the fucking color of the sky.
yep.
So,
It's not like us, who is a perfectly and organized group of like-minded individuals, right?
look, you will get in line with the system, and you will not argue. Yeah.
Mein Führer.
Well, if I wasn't demonetized before, I am fucking now. So.
Hey man, hey man, if you want to really get demonetized, I could start talking about the most secure election ever.
Yeah, let's just start
Please
start
don't.
saying all the gamer words now.
Oh yeah.
1864, I believe it was, that election. That one is totally fair and wasn't perpetrated by police.
Oh god, here we go.
I don't think it's going to be demonetization. I think it's going to be deplatforming.
Yeah, termination. And that's, you know what? Now, again, we're all over the place today. There's no subject on this shit, so it can go wherever, in my opinion. One of the things that they love to fucking bring up all the fucking time, and it pisses me the fuck off because I really don't fucking care, is how they talk about how Arch is like this pillar of the anti-female space marine movement or whatever the fuck. It's like, bro, Arch got into some shit. They told him to take Warhammer out of his name. Fucking let it go. Jesus fucking Christ.
They want him driven out for some reason. He is the fucking, well, probably because at one point he was the highest quote unquote chud hammer account.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was.
He's a victory.
They want him burned to ground. Yeah.
He's a victory that they can a hill victory
That's-
that they can stand on.
There you go. That's what it is right there. It's like, dude, this guy hardly ever gets into his shit, you know, interacts with these people, but they love, especially like to me in the comments on like my videos and shit. Arch got deplatformed or Arch got his name removed, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I don't fucking care. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
I care.
Do you?
But no, and I mean Arch talks about shit other than Warhammer more than he talks about Warhammer anymore, it seems.
Yeah, politics.
Yeah, politics.
50-50, I'd say. Actually, no. After he started that new D&D stream, I'd say it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
He started the D&D stream. Oh my god, that's got to be interesting to see.
It is. It's 5 guys who don't really know how to play D&D 5e playing D&D 5e.
Wait a minute, I ran a group like that. Hang on, Badger, you remember that?
No comment.
It's
Fuck you, Hill.
minus V and Rags, like legitimately seeming like if they were in the same room would be tearing each other's throats out with their teeth. It's honestly just funny to watch.
Oh god. Yeah,
No,
Badger.
no, it's
Were you a rogue or a ranger, Badger? I'm trying to remember.
Rogue.
He was trying to climb it. He was trying to climb like a 6-8 foot hill, and the entire party fell down the hill, collapsed, just rolled to the bottom. It was.
So bad.
That's unfortunate.
It were level 1. It was 4 goblins, and the goblins almost fucking won.
I'm monetization Ravelex in the chat.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
God, you
Yeah.
that idiot.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
Ravelex, how you doing, man?
Oh, but yeah. So, are there any more of the comments that are worth reading, or to the video?
I don't know. There's like 80 something comments on this thing.
Damn.
Somebody said we already have female space marines. They're called the Sisters of Battle, and they're fucking awesome. I mean, yeah, that's another thing that we've been saying. That comment's kind of racist, so I'm not going to read it.
Kind of
I wanna read
racist.
it. I'll read it.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here's a really fucking good one. I'm sure this is a genuine channel dedicated to 40K and not some far-right weirdo recruitment tool. Oh my god.
Well, what? Says the people that literally try to, indoctrinate within their own organization.
Tell me you're not a leftist woke camera retard.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, combat. For posterity's sake, state politics.
Mine?
Like, what are your opinions on children being able to have access to crack?
That's bad.
What?
He's a far right maniac. He believes children shouldn't have hard drugs. Prison cells.
So Shadow just turned into Lance from Surfs TV, and I'm gonna have to kick him now.
That was Alex Jones. Fuck you.
But
Turning the Frog's gay.
Look, the elites don't want you to know this, but the Warhammers are free. You can take as many of them as you want. I've got 39,000 of them at home.
like shit like that is so fucking stupid to me. Because first of all, nothing I said was right wing. Even my videos that I do that are even slightly political are still through a lens of centrism. Right? Now, if you don't like facts, then you're really gonna fucking hate what I have to say, because I always provide visual evidence on those.
I know this sounds like, your head should explode, but remember, centrism is right wing.
I know anything to the right of far left at this point is fucking alt-right or far right. Especially to those fucking weirdos. It's like somehow, and again, I hate that shit because it's this moral superiority complex that these fuckers have, that my opinions are the right ones. I'm fighting for, the right side of history. And if you're anything outside of whatever my bubble is, then you're far right. Like that shit.
Yeah, they're Harry Potter.
No, go ahead. If you let me keep going, I'm going to keep ranting.
I like it.
I was just gonna say they're Harry Potter influenced narcissists. No, Gnostics. They're Harry Potter influenced Gnostics.
But they can't even get Gnosticism right. They managed to fuck that up.
More in the sense of like they believe that once you get this, like once you understand this hidden truth of the universe, you will agree with them, and if you don't, then you just simply aren't Gnostic enough. Same fucking thing is happening. If you understand where they're coming from about female space marines, you would join them in their fight for female space marines, and only the people who don't support them are people who haven't looked into it hard enough, or are people who are actively evil in their eyes.
Yeah, this is the politics are in everything crowd, and it's like, no, they're fucking not. Yeah,
the fascists.
Which is ironic, since that's one of their favorite words to call everybody else.
Yeah.
It's weird because I thought they loved socialism.
Well, remember, fascism is not socialism. Socialism is not fascism.
Here's another good one.
Fascism is masculine authoritarian socialism.
The other good one is, your arguments are cringe. People shouldn't want female space marines because they wouldn't be attractive. That wasn't my argument. My argument was, if female space marines went through the whole fucking process that male space marines go through, they wouldn't look like fucking females like Serb wants them to look, the big fucking titted muscle mommies.
Yeah.
They're gonna look like androgynous superhumans, which is exactly what happened when fucking Fabius Bile tried to make the new man, and he creates this matriarch who looks very fucking unnerving because she looks too perfect and has a fucking chiseled jaw and all this shit. It's fucking Coomer brain shit.
It's ma'am.
Dude, this is my issue with all of this, okay? And whoever wrote that comment, you're probably not going to watch this video, but if you do, fucking listen for once. First of all, stop putting fucking words in people's goddamn mouths. Fucking learn how to read, comprehend what you read, and stick to the goddamn sentence of what somebody said. You would never say that shit to somebody in person. I can guarantee it. Fucking stop with the fucking circular logic bullshit and fucking, oh, so you don't like fucking females because somebody doesn't want female space marines. Not even remotely in the same ballpark. See, you got me fucking fired up. Look what you
I
did.
was just gonna say, damn.
I
You're
mean-
fucking knife hand in my Necrons. Shit, you not, dude. Like,
Look, you piece of shit.
well, I'm mad at them too because they don't want to fucking glue together.
Sounds like a skill
But-
issue.
It is.
It's always the same shit. It always, like you said, that circular logic of it comes back to, oh, well, you just hate women. You don't want attractive women in the hobby. No, I don't want fucking fetish shit that's going to absolutely steamroll social media if it ever happens. Just because somebody has a fucking porn addiction.
Yep.
Again, I being the true old fucker here, I've got a granddaughter. I would like to someday introduce her to 40K. I don't want her first experience with the game as, hey, Grandpa, why does that lady have no clothes on, a little tiny head, and some ridiculous looking body with like quadruple D's?
Oh, but they make that kind of art with Sisters of Battle.
Yes, I know, and I don't want her to see that either. I'm sorry, but it's like, could we just, could you try to be an adult for 5 seconds and not turn everything into porn? Please?
Thank you.
So where do Druki and Drukari sit on that? Just so I can understand if I need to hop out of the Discord server or not.
What?
Yeah, well, it's not like I'm going to be
because-
bringing the grandkids into the server. I promise that. Maybe the
No,
grandson.
no, I mean the fucking degen brain because yeah, I'm 20. I've got certain things going on in that regard, and because I'm a Zoomer and we've been exposed to, for lack of a better way to phrase it, goth mommies in most of our media from the early 2000s. Druki and Drukari are my favorite faction.
Coomer.
Oh, where do we stand on that in regards to aesthetics?
I mean, you
What
like
was the other one besides Drukari? I couldn't understand.
BDSM murder elves. I mean, that's
Yes,
It's
exactly.
on you,
There we
bro.
go.
I hate to say it this way, but at least the Drukari have an excuse
Right.
for why they're like they are. So I'm talking about when they have to turn everything into porn.
Look, all right,
So
I'm just gonna-
my
I'm-
degeneracy is fine. Theirs isn't. Got it. Good to know.
No. It's if you were turning everything into porn, I'd probably go, dude, what? I don't know. Go find a knothole in a tree and get it out of your system. Whatever the case may be, but
I'm gonna say this. I find it incredibly satisfying that Rogue Trader made it to where if you want to have a certain type of relationship with somebody, it has to be with the murder elf that has tried to kill you several times.
yes,
That-
that's true.
May or may not do weird things to you. Just saying. Just putting that out there. That's kind of funny to me.
Be the best sex you probably ever had till you're
And-
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who is the one person that that everybody wanted to romance that you can't?
Sister of
True
Battle.
battle.
That's right.
Hmm.
She's married to the emperor.
I haven't even gotten far. I haven't even made it out of the first skirmish.
And the number of people that are frustrated by that
First
is
game.
really kind of weird.
There's gonna be a mod. There's gonna be a mod before too
There
long.
has to be. There has to be.
Probably. Well,
They
I
could
mean,
probably make it a
if you're already-
DLC.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. This is a perfect opportunity. Everybody in here, I won't count myself, is playing Rogue Trader, correct?
Yeah.
I have not.
Is any you tourist? No, I'm kidding. Those of you that
I
are
don't-
playing or have played, are you far enough in the game where you have a screenshot of when the Space Wolf says that there are no female space wolves, there never will be, so on and so on?
It's not in
Anybody
there.
have that?
It's
The
not
word
in there.
is- Yeah, the word is they did take it out.
They did take it out.
Son of a-
Pushed it out.
Oh, you fucking weak bastards!
They took it out, and instead you're left with some dialogue where he talks about his brothers and, basically Space Wolf lore. But yeah, they removed that part.
Wonder why.
Probably because people saw that screenshot and went fucking full autism against the developer, like they were doing. Oh, we're just asking them why they need that here. We're not complaining about it. We just want to know why they needed to say that and why it's in the game. Because it's fucking canon, you absolute fucking simpletons.
Yep.
I wonder if there was a call they called GW and GW's like, just take it out. Just for fuck's sakes, take it out.
I bet you that's probably what happened. Is that
One step
they
on
knew
Fortnite.
they knew that it was going to get paraded as a banner, and they were like, "All right, we need to somehow stay out of this argument. Just don't put it in there." And honestly, even if they had left it in there, right? From our point of view, all four of us, nothing that he says in that screenshot is incorrect. It's just objectively true.
Aside from the never will be, because we know that at some point, just like the way Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, and actually surprisingly not Harry Potter, have gone, they'll eventually grab it. Just maybe not in the next 10 years.
That's
20.
the only way is that they would do it is because they capitulated, not because Call can do it or whatever. That's all bullshit. And I put a
Just
thing
thought
up
of
on
something.
Twitter today that talked about that. You know, with Alpha Primus.
Well, I think now that the old guard there, the original old guard at GW is either dying off or retiring, probably when the last of them is gone, that's probably when it's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I just thought of a way we could save 40K.
Or there's a fucking writers boycott or some shit.
Buy it. Buy 40K. We all move to England and run 40K.
We need J.K. Rowling to write one 40K book.
God damn, that would be. Oh man, the reeing would just be amazing.
That would.
It would become poison for them. They would not touch it.
They would quite literally go nuclear if that happened. Like that's.
And all of the fake fans on the right wing side, like your geeks and gamers and stuff like that, will champion Warhammer in the same way they championed Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, that would be the nail in the coffin for them. That would be the absolute.
They really went like fake fan. I haven't paid attention to geeks and gamers in over a year.
Okay.
I'm not like a super fan, so don't worry about offending me.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. I probably could have used a better term. I just mean more of like they're the guys that are like they're the current thing in regards to like because they want to make money. So like whenever they talk about something that's a topical topic, you don't see any of them like talking about like, hey, this is a fun movie that I enjoyed from like from the 90s, or hey, this is like a random indie game that I'm going to be playing. It's always something topical because they're trying to make money. That's what I was trying to convey.
So it's always like, the current thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to convey by fake fan, not that they don't like the lore. I'm not going to speak to that because I have no fucking clue. I should have chosen my words better, and I apologize for that.
Speaking of, did anybody notice Sargon Abakad?
Yes.
Dipping his toe back into the boiling acid that is female space marines.
Yep.
And of course, the usual accusations came after him. But
well, Sargon is on par with Arch to these people. So, you know, anytime he says anything even remotely related to Warhammer or 40K, they just latch onto it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he could sit there and be like, look at this mini I painted, and they'd be calling him a fascist.
Oh, they literally did. He was painting minis with his sons. He was teaching his kids to play 40K. And he was showing off the minis, and people were going after him on Instagram. You know, screaming fascist at him. And it's like, dude is literally showing off his minis.
Yeah.
All just fucking calm down.
That sounds about right. You know, they have their boogeymen, and Arch and Sargon are two of them.
All right, guys.
You're the best.
I need help. I need hobby help if we can do that real quick.
You're a tourist.
Get good.
I'm on my last 5 Necrons that have to be put together that I will probably ever buy. And I tried to talk about this last night with Shadowhawk and stuff, but I'm still not there yet. The choice I have is Death Marks or Immortals.
I already said Death Marks.
Death Marks.
Feyrac. We got a Necron in the chat. Feyrac, what do you recommend?
Now hold on. Before you say anything, stop typing, dude. I'm not a tournament player. I care about narrative games. Narrative.
He's fluffy.
Yeah, I'm fluffy. There you go. Something you'll never hear.
Feyrac is a dudette, not a dude, so.
My bad.
Yeah. I remember they go after Pharaoh and saying, you know, you're just some chud dude loser. I'm an Asian woman.
I'm sorry.
The discussion stops.
Did you just misgender a Necron?
Oh my god.
That's how do you miss whatever.
You assumed their
You
gender.
bigot. You fucking bigot.
90% of the Necrons we see are male, but like they were a species.
Are
Like,
they, though?
honestly, you want something with tits in it? Give us some female fucking Necrons.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
No, but
It's like,
seriously, I'm having a hard time. Like on a serious note, I'm having a hard time seeing a 5-man Deathmark squad, narrative-wise, if you will, that makes any sense whatsoever. And yes, I'm being kind of a purist because I'm a 3rd edition Necron dude. You know, as far as all that shit's concerned, and I think that they're not scary anymore. They're just a joke. But
Just
where
put
I'm
them.
at.
Just put them in different places, then it makes sense.
We'll do what?
So just put them in different places, then it makes sense.
I don't think my opponent would let me do that, even if it was my wife.
um,
He already hates Necrons
like,
till they get back up.
You don't have a wife. Come on, stop it.
That's true.
Oh no, none of us have any sort of meaningful relationships with anybody ever.
I don't.
Well,
Because you're-
that's because you're an incel.
You're
I'm a fucking
insane.
zoomer.
That's what we said. You don't have to
Uh,
repeat yourself.
You're right. To the death marks thing, I mean, like during the American like Revolutionary War and Civil War and stuff like that. Well, less so the Civil War, but you had like dedicated units of sharpshooters because their snipers they didn't have the range and the accuracy for a rifle to effectively be a sniper, but you had guys who could hit really damn well with the rifles. So they'd get like 80 guys together that could all shoot like a rabbit in a field and have them
But
basically just toss like 30 rounds at the same guy. And
that
hope it
doesn't
hits the
apply to
guy.
death marks, though. They are snipers.
No, right, but a lot of the targets you would be going after, like a Space Marine captain or an Orc war boss, are gonna have like a flicker field or like a iron halo or like some kind of like extra armor. So the logic behind that is one sniper is good against like a normal target, but multiple snipers are good against a superior target.
I'm gonna step away for a second because my dog's going ballistic. So feel free.
Whereas, well, it doesn't really matter because Feyrax said immortals.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I was thinking. Here's my. I understand what you're saying. My thing is, one, what do you need snipers for in a way, when you have so much, going for you in the way of your hyperphasing, your living metal. I mean, you basically have an entire zombie army that's indestructible until they're not. And I mean, all of the weapons that you have. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. But yeah, I was in the camp of Immortals, but I didn't want to shortchange myself. I already have 20 Immortals, and I was like, well, I don't know.
Gotcha. I mean, in regards to like the snipers, I mean, yeah, just because your army is technically indestructible doesn't mean you want just because your warriors will like eventually be repaired doesn't mean you don't want to, preserve them or break up the enemy's ability to fight. So having snipers being able to take out enemy officers or like the enemy leader to cause disarray even more so than the Necrons would be causing themselves by being Necrons. There's value there, especially since Necron military doctrine was being formed against the likes of the Eldari Empire and the Krorks, which can go toe to toe with with a Necron tier combatant.
Okay, so did something change in the lore? Because everything I knew, even with the Matt Ward nonsense, was that essentially all your Necron warriors, Immortals included, were not I mean, they were just pawns to the Dynasty Lords.
That's absolutely right. And like the Dynasty Lords, the Necrotechs, and all that would probably outfit their different stuff for like
Well, I'm saying they wouldn't care about sending out those troops to die and eventually be repaired. Is my point.
in
War of attrition.
Right, but also like it is still a logistics thing. Like, yeah, I could when you're playing Total War, right? Like, yeah, I could just it doesn't really matter to me because these aren't real people. I could just let that unit of spearmen die, but it would be kind of annoying to not have that going into the next fight. So I might as well try to not let them die by taking by just doing this that costs me nothing in the way of resources. Because taking 5 guys out of the battle line and giving them sniper rifles isn't a massive waste of resources when the games are complete and absolute demoralization of an enemy where the spooky, scary skeleton shtick isn't working on them.
Right, but I mean, unless I'm missing something here, they don't have any infiltration rules, like say Space Marine Scouts or whatever.
Which is
They're
why
they're
said,
basically frontline designated marksmen that can kill a character that's attached to a unit. And I mean, oh god, yeah, last Raptor I met ate some point in one's ear. Man,
that's why I said the like Revolutionary War type marksman units and not dedicated snipers, because like lore wise they should be a sniper hero. They should be a sniper hero. That's what they should be. That would make a lot more sense.
yes, that's what I was
They
thinking.
aren't. They don't. So Revolutionary War era snipers, Revolutionary War era marksmen. Let's go with that. But if you don't like that, just make immortals. Like you got the Feyrac stamp of approval, just make immortals.
Yep, I think that's what we're gonna go with. They just, I don't know, they're also beefier, and I don't know, I don't like their face, like the whole one Cyclops eye and all that crap. It's weird.
Really fucks up your depth perception.
Hmm.
It's like the old ANPVS 7s, man. They weren't worth a shit for depth perception.
And PVS 4 suck too.
Well, yeah.
Hey, I used those in freaking Iraq, dude.
We had already. I started on the 5s, so yeah.
Yep.
The ones that look like a block with two little. I think they wore them in Ghostbusters as like ghost detecting goggles.
Oh my god, dude! The worst thing that ever happened was for me to become an adult and learn about everything. Because now when I go, like like you said, Ghostbusters or oh my god, all this shit, dude. Snake Plissken.
Yes,
Shit he wears, dude.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, holy shit, dude. Now that would be you could put Russell back in at least. Maybe even now. I bet he could pull off Commissar in live action.
Yeah, he would. Oh, I wonder if he'd be a good Yarick. He could get that look on his face.
Yeah.
Remember, if anyone who's cast as Yorick needs to be gay because good shit.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, I got to hear this one.
The left wing argument that gay characters must be played by gay people.
Oh,
Yarick's gay?
Not that I'm aware.
Like I heard this like from like Chudhammer types, like not like full on lefties, but like Chudhammer types that apparently in one of like the War for Armageddon novels or something like that, it mentions he's got a husband, and this is like back early 2000s lore, like before all this woke shit was really a problem. So it's like,
I mean, I don't give a shit, just whatever. But
I don't remember reading that.
I have not read that myself. This is just what I've heard. I heard it mentioned, and I'm like, that sounds like some woke bullshit. And then someone's like, no. This is one of those cases where it's not. This was like a year or two ago, and probably on one of the subreddits. Like, so feel free to like read it and like I haven't read any of those books myself, so this isn't me going.
Okay.
This isn't me like.
Here, it's mentioned briefly in Yarick, Imperial Creed is completely inconsequential to the character. Yeah, it's not actually in the book. So that's a very vague answer. No. I'm saying, hey.
I'm glad you brought up the word Chudhammer because I've been wanting to say this for some time. They gave us that name, right? Chud, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do they realize that the Chuds won?
Dude, they don't even know what it means.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because I mean they did win, and they won in every movie, both of them. They won in those movies. I mean,
yeah, they have no fucking idea.
Oh my god.
Also, when you're someone like me who's never heard of that damn movie, it sounds like you're mixing Chad and Stud together. And so
that
when
works
you go, oh well, it's
look, if you haven't, if you've never
was.
seen the first Chud Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dweller, you're missing out, bro. If
Oh,
you like,
I didn't even know what they were. Like
That's
straight up, I'm
peak
just like,
fucking
I don't want to
80s
ruin
right
it for you. That's why you need to go watch it. It's fucking badass, even for as bad as cinematography was back then.
Yeah, it was peak fucking 80s. That's all I'll tell you.
I'll add it to the list. But no, like I'm on Twitter, and this is like I think it was like back when the Template Institute dropped their bullshit, like why female Space Marines can happen, and they explained that the lore doesn't actually matter. And I'm just like in the fucking like Twitter trenches, just like yelling at people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, break from this like argument bullshit. What the fuck does that mean? I've been called that a few times, and I've just been thinking it means Chad Stud. And they're like, it's this thing from this movie, and I'm like, I've never heard of that fucking movie. Why are you calling me that? So you're an uncultured chud.
Yes.
How, I Google it. How the like that's like me calling you a fucking peacekeeper from Farscape and you not and like insulting you for not knowing about that. Like, why would you know that?
I mean,
I fucking hate commies.
So apparently the whole thing about Yarrick is it's inferred but not confirmed.
Oh, God.
I think it's some
the way it was
people reading
explained
some headcanon into it.
into what now? Sorry, my wife is still sick, so I had to periodically check on her and make sure she's still breathing.
Brought it. They
a
said
icon.
Kurt Russell playing a commissar. I said, well, could he pull off Yarrick? And you know, the joke was, well, you know, gay people have to play gay people, and I'm like, wait, Yarrick's gay?
Well,
The way it had been explained to me is it's like they had said he had a husband, like outright that he had a husband.
hold on. I don't recall ever seeing that.
I've got the Yarrick Omnibus.
That's what they responded with.
I'll read before I read Brother of the Snake, just to piss off Badger some more. So.
All right, Badger.
No. Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't matter. I don't care, and it has fuck all to do with it. But you know, so whatever the case may be on that, I'm sure somebody's going to come in and clip out the part where going, Yarrick's gay. He's a frog. But yeah. So, but no, yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a gay.
Okay. All right. So apparently it's a myth.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say somebody inferred it but never confirmed it.
yeah, they're saying that in one of the books, it's mentioned that he had a relationship with a senior male officer, but not specified. And then somebody went and looked for it, and it's not there. So it's just been sort of perpetuated.
Okay.
It explained to me that like they mentioned he has a husband. That's how it was explained to me, and like this person was like, "Oh, it's not woke bullshit." So I'm like, "Oh, well, I guess it must be true because they're saying not woke bullshit."
Yeah,
Jesus,
I
these
think
people.
the word is relationship, and then they latched onto that, and then took it to their logical conclusion, which is he's gay.
Feel free to admonish me. Ain't an idiot.
You are admonished.
So they turned the frickin' Yarrick's gay. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, they guys go Matt Gugger is putting shit in the water and turning the commissar's gay. Okay? This is real.
Oh,
This
no,
is more
here's
real than that Necron shit. It's real.
here's the ultimate. You got to be shitting me. Is somebody was going? Why don't they just make female? And they were serious. Female orcs. And I'm
Sure.
like, it doesn't work. They're mushrooms.
They're mushroom people. they're,
There's no male and female mushrooms. Not that I know.
no, they're just mushrooms.
They're fucking mushrooms. Man. They literally had this Coomer picture of like a big titty orc chick, and I'm like, okay, could you leave that shit in D&D, please?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, I'm not telling you where it is.
The drow are the ones that get overly titillated, sir.
Oh god, drow are just.
I'm not one of those people who says the alignment system crisis. Don't worry.
I'm letting Driz Duorden for completely ruining fucking drow.
What? Why?
I still need to read those books.
Because I think they, in the effort to kind of extend the novels way past their normal lifetime, they kept dragging in more and more. Well, but this one's a nice drow, and this one's a nice drow. And it's like, oh, come on. I don't know. I think those novels were good. Don't get me wrong. But they're on like, what, the 45th fucking book or something?
Holy fucking shit.
They've run it into the ground.
Sorry for
They're
cursing.
I bet there are 40 Driz Duorden novels now by this point.
I'm gonna try something.
That's nice.
I'm gonna try something
It's
different
like one
here.
of my favorite. Sorry,
No. Go ahead. I'm saying I'm gonna.
Then when they killed off the companions, then when they brought the companions back, and it was like, wow. Okay.
I like one of the reasons I love the Drow and like evil races. Like I love hobgoblins. The hobgoblins are like one of the coolest things in D&D, in my opinion. Fuck you, I don't care that they're Cossacks. But like the reason I like the evil races is because there's a lot of room for like interesting morality. Like I love the Miles Darkblade novels because like you're in Druchii society, you are in this evil society. How does it function? What kind of like is on that? It's incredibly fascinating to me.
Well, that's what was great about the Driz Jordan early novels is they got into how the Drow society functioned. You know, how it was, yes, it was evil, but it still had its rules, but the rules were so flexible. It was literally the situation you're in. You can't kill that guy. Why? Because there's people watching. But the minute nobody's watching, kill that motherfucker. You know? So
for the side that goes morality doesn't exist, you would think that they'd be all right with that. Because why is there two combats?
No, that I fixed it. I went to a different camera for this.
Oh, gotcha.
camera
okay.
1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2.
Yeah, I have like 4.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. No, because like, what was my point? Because like you've got these people who are like, well, Drow being inherently evil is racism because gypsies or something like that, and I'm like, no. The comparison.
But remember there are no mixed race creatures.
Half elves, but
No, they're not allowed. You're not allowed to be mixed race in D&D anymore because that's wrong.
that's right, that new thing, yeah, because it's immoral. No, like the general point of like, well, they're evil, like having inherently evil races is bad because race or it's uncreative. No, it opens up for amazing creativity because now you need to think, okay, like lizard folk. I use lizard folk as the perfect example. They would eat human babies. Like if they raid a village, they will eat human babies because to them it's meat.
Meat.
Why wouldn't you eat meat?
But that's kind of what I mean. You know, there's no mixed race people, so I'm sorry, Wombat, you've officially been canceled.
Oh,
and you're not allowed to exist anymore.
I kind of figured. I'm already a white supremacist.
Worst white supremacist ever.
Oh,
I know.
I've seen you at the local meetings recently.
Well, you know, everybody's wearing a hood. You can't tell who anybody is. So.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Oh, you guys go to those ones. I go to the
Holy
ones where you have to
shit.
shave your head.
Oh yeah.
I go to the ones where you have to shave your head. Those ones.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Those are my. They've got better catering. They've got like really good snacks.
Yeah, all we get is bags of Funyuns. The whole place reeks by the end of the meeting.
I mean,
the ones I go to, they've got like this really good Chinese place that caters.
Sorry. Never ask a man his income, a woman his age, or a white supremacist the race of his girlfriend. Is that what you're saying?
that sounds about right.
I fucking love it that like I've seen like videos where someone takes like a white supremacist saying like the most fucked up thing, and it's like always dating or always married to an Asian chick, and then you get like a black chick who's like a black supremacist always dating a white guy.
Oh my god, like that Boston mayor lady? The one that was like, oh, we're having the POC only Christmas party. She's married to a white dude. She's got little whitelings.
Whitelings. Well, I mean, it's like, well, I'll be honest. Having been, you know, my time in the army, some of the most quote unquote white supremacy dudes are usually Mexican.
I mean,
fucking hilarious.
Look, all right. There is
Mexicans are like Asians. They're Schrodinger's white supremacists.
There is a correlation between Hispanics and racism, like especially in like Central and South American countries, and I don't understand it because my parents are Mexican and they love America, and yay. But yeah,
explain it?
I mean, you can if you say anything about certain types of officers relocating to South American countries after World War II.
No. I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about Carlos Maria Santa Maria Himmler. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the fact that like throughout most of human history, everyone was some kind of racist. That's just like a fact. Like you had your group, you had your community, and then you had those dirty, stinky, smelly bastards that live 2 towns over and they're fucking subhuman. So if you're not in a first world country where everything is handed to you at your local McDonald's, you're gonna have some level of racist to you just because like it's a survival tactic. It's built into you. That's the reason it is. Or your side of the border was killed on the other side of the border at some point. One of the two.
I mean, literally, I remember I was in like Fort Hood, which is not that far from the border. And, you know, we're walking along and all of a sudden my buddy like turns around and he hears people speaking Spanish. And he's like, "You need to go home and get out of America. This ain't your home." And I'm like, "Carlos, calm down, man."
Okay, look.
Carlos was
fucking
his last name
chill.
Rommel by chance?
No, it was like Carlos. I sort of, it was like Carlos Sanchez. I'm like, "Dude, what do you say?" He goes, "This is our home." Okay, bro, but your parents like came from Tijuana, man. Calm down.
So here's the thing that, and I brought this up in my video about AOC lying about the border.
Oh, God, yes, I love that video. By the way,
Is
fucking hilarious.
And especially from my family, right? So my grandmother came over from Monterey in like the late 50s, early 60s. My grandfather, same thing, came from Colombia, right? But they came over legally. My grandfather came over here for him to get his citizenship. He fought in Vietnam, you know, did some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Funny was always the immigrant guys that had the really fucking weird ass jobs in the military, you know.
Well, my grandpa was a Green Beret. He is a tough motherfucker.
Exactly.
Like, that man will run. That man is 77 years old and will run circles around me. But so there's a sense of pride there already, right? Of loving your country because
absolutely. And
also, you know, most second gen, second gen Hispanics, especially in Texas, you know, most of these people came over the right way, especially in a time when people were still looking at you like you were fucking trash, like, you know, actually fucking racist, not like the shit you see now, you know, the shit that everybody wants to spout nowadays about, oh, everything is fucking racist. White people are racist. You can't cross the border. Oh, you don't like illegals? Oh, then you're a racist. No. It's offensive to people that went through that process, to the people that are going through that process to enter this country the right way. And now these motherfuckers are just walking across and they get free shit. And it's like, all right, then why did we bother doing this? Why did we go through this process of doing things the right way? And now we're just letting people shit all over it. That's
high school was a fucking trip for this one guy. I had like my high school had a bunch of immigrants, and this one guy and I were talking about illegal immigration, and this one Indian chick comes over, and he asks her like, "Hey, you disagree with this guy, right? Like, he's a racist. He thinks illegal immigration shouldn't be allowed." And she's like, "My family came here legally. My parents are still trying to get their green cards."
Right.
Yeah.
These illegal immigrants, and his face was just like he couldn't believe it, and I'm just sitting here like, yeah, most immigrants are based because they. Unlike you, they actually have to work for a living.
Well, I mean, same thing with my grandfather. He came here in 1938 from Poland, World War, you know, to escape. You know, he's a half Jewish, half Catholic Polish. Wow. Okay. So they haul ass. They come here. War comes to America, and first thing he does is settle his wife down, settle his little baby, my mother down, and goes and says, "I want to fight. Will you be airborne? Do I still get to kill Nazis?" Yeah, you get to kill him with a parachute and a rifle. Fucking sign me up then. Dude was 101st Airborne at D-Day. I mean, mean as cat shit old man.
Yeah.
Just like you said about your grandfather. I mean, mine's long gone, but it's like, yeah. And that's how he got his citizenship. Fucking earned it.
Yeah.
Just guarantees citizenship.
You know, this whole this narrative
fucking Starship Troopers.
This narrative that they want to push, that it's an overwhelming majority of families and women and children. That's not the case. You know, you're seeing a small fraction of the thousands that are showing up every single day. And that's one of the things that yes. It is primarily young men from fucking everywhere.
Yeah, military age young men.
And that's why I brought it up. It's, it's cheap labor. That's why the fucking Democrats want this shit. It's cheap labor. It's uneducated voters and cheap labor. That's why they're pushing so much.
Yeah.
I thought the Democrats were the party of the working class. You're telling me that they're actually the party of the...
Yeah, as long as you're scrubbing their fucking toilets.
Yeah. I used to live near a place in Florida called Jupiter, Florida. Jupiter has the distinction of being the home to both the wealthiest people in Florida, poorest people in Florida, and they live less than miles apart from each other.
Sounds like LA.
And you could definitely tell who's who. So,
But the sad thing about what you're saying now and what I've been saying the past couple minutes is that somebody would listen to that and be like, "Oh, you're a racist. You're a bigot." No, this is truth. This is what's happening. This is why they want it to happen.
My wife and I drove out on Jupiter Island in a nice car. We literally drove out on Jupiter Island. We picked up a cop within 30 seconds of crossing the bridge. He followed us all the way off to the other side of the bridge, the other side of the island. They know every car. They know every person that comes on, because on that island used to live people named Limbaugh, Woods, Winfrey, the ultra elites. This little island has its own SWAT team. Okay, so yeah.
Well, I mean, look what happened whenever they shipped them over to fucking what was it?
Martha's Vineyards.
Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, they were like, no, we don't want these fucking people.
Got uppity.
Yeah, they did. So, but yeah, like I said, these poor people. And I've seen these communities in the Jupiter area, and and this is not an insult to them. I wouldn't want dogs to live like this.
Well, that's my biggest gripe is, we're expected to look, it is basic human decency that if somebody shows up and they have nothing, then obviously you have somewhat of, and this is just my opinion, you have somewhat of an obligation to help them, right? You don't want to leave somebody out there starving, and
especially if there's
this, that, and the other. Yes, exactly. But when you're putting that first and foremost in front of, veterans issues, in front of the existing massive fucking homeless population that we already have in all major cities, there are other things that need to be fixed first before we try to fix everybody else's problems. That's
absolutely.
And I know that sounds bad and people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're a fucking right winger." No, as an American, that is what you should want. Yes.
You have to take care of your own first.
But as we all know, half these people fucking hate where they live, and they're gonna, we'll help everybody else, but we don't want to help ourselves.
In the case of in the case of like it's less of like they hate where they live, and it's more of just like, well, not the powerful people that want to erase the thinking martial population and replace it with a listening, docile peasant population so they can do their aristocracy bullshit. But in the case of the people who are acting on it, it's people who legitimately believe that you need to do everything you can to help anyone in need. And it's basically, it's toxic charity. It is toxic femininity.
You can't
apply like a more controversial label to it.
You can't help everyone. You can't.
Well, the way and I tried to explain it one time to somebody. I was armored cav most of my time in the military, and we still stuck by many of the old sayings from the horse cav. And the first one you get taught is take care of things in this order: the horse, the saddle, then the rider. In this case, take care of your home country, your home systems, then worry about outside shit. You cannot worry about the outside shit first. And we are in bad shape. I know there's a lot worse places in the world. Our country's in some badass shape right now. We need to fix our problems.
Out of the third world, we're the best. Quote.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it's not wrong.
Ravlik brought up something good too. He says some people don't want help. And that's a lot of these people aren't coming here for help. They're coming here for handouts. Like, look at, what was it? up in New York, I think, where they were like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in, these more permanent tent camps." They were like, "Fuck no, we don't want to go in there. We're going back home."
You came here for smartphone in hotel room.
Yeah.
I don't know why are we not getting smartphone in hotel. What accent is that?
It was like
sounds
German
something
Mandarin.
Yeah, I was gonna say some vaguely European shit.
I fucking this. I'm gonna get a Romanian trying to kill me.
No, just steal your car. Ow, I said that. I'm sorry. No, they went with the monetization.
We're not talking about Indians, otherwise I'd probably say something worse.
Wait, which ones?
Subcontinent.
Ah,
I was going about something else. I'm glad I didn't. Each.
but yeah, I know we went off on this political tangent. It's,
Yeah, wait, I'm sorry.
it's
My fault.
at some point, and coming from a moderate point of view, at some point, even the most rational person gets tired of being gaslit, and then that's when you end up with people calling you a reactionary and shit like that. It's like, no, I'm not a reactionary. I'm just tired of being lied to every single fucking day when it's not true,
I'm going to try to tread this topic as close as I can, as carefully as I can. There was a country in Europe that lost a world war, the first one, and they had a bunch of people basically dumped out on the streets, a lot of veterans, and saw everything about their nation basically being destroyed and circumvented, and their economy destroyed and everything else. And they got mad enough that they put people in power that had no business being in power. And it was a guy with a mustache. And
We're talking about
when you no smaller mustache.
Mussolini.
Smart ass. Basically, they ended up putting somebody in power because they were so desperate they accepted promises that things would be better.
Well,
that's how you end up. That's how you those people. You let a country get so beaten down that they'll do anything if they're promised.
Yeah,
life.
But of course, here we have the luxury of, this man is saying mean things on the internet. Let's vote for the guy that is blatantly racist because he's saying all the stuff we want to hear.
All he said was that black kids are just as bright and just as smart as rich kids. That's not racist.
White kids.
Kids, yeah.
No, sorry, it was poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Sorry.
And
he said a very racist thing.
But
yeah,
you end up with situations in countries like that because you've beaten the people down to the point where they'll accept anything. They'll believe anything.
Well, look what's happening with all this. Look what's happening with like Maine and Colorado. All they're doing is pissing people off.
Exactly.
Look, if you have trouble, deciding whether to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Oh, you mean the Trump thing? Sorry, no.
Well, you ain't.
That's what Biden said.
So, and that's what I'm like. It's like they want to keep the quote unquote chuds, the liberals or the conservatives, the whatever you want to call them. But it's like, what if they decide to push back? That's the concern. And how that pushback happens, and that's like it's like people quit acting like shit's an internet game. Okay, this isn't an internet video game. This is reality.
But they don't understand that. Like they think because they're on the right side of the history, they'll auto win because Harry Potter. Like the communist got into Combat's Discord chat. Like I got him into a VC, and he was just tossing out personal information to prove a point that he's not scared of me and Nick. And I'm like, bro. What happens if one of us is an actual skinhead? What happens if one of us is actually going to go to your home? And he's like, well, you're not because you're losers. And I'm like, oh, you don't fucking know that. You didn't know what I looked like until we got into this VC.
Badger and I ran into it. For those that know what a DD214 is, Badger and I literally who, to prove his point, posted his military discharge paperwork.
Oh,
Yeah, unredacted. And
Oops.
called me and said, stolen valor if you don't do the same. And I'm like, and we're literally begging the guy, please get that off the internet. Ha, own you, chuds. You idiot. You have posted all your personal information.
And besides that, you gave
How
the
someone wants to
actual
hurt you,
format.
They can.
Yeah.
People
Well,
live in
besides
fake-
that, you
fake
gave the
La La-
actual
these people live in
format for
fucking La La
someone to
Land
impersonate
where
a military
the biggest
person.
danger is Voldemort, but he can be defeated by a child.
Yeah, it's just, we're begging the guy, please take it down. Yeah, we'll post yours instead. Dude, I'm not stupid. Don't do that. Yeah, like Badger said, you've also given them enough information that they could literally now recreate.
Yep.
Badger's like, dude, do you understand what OPSEC is? Yeah, I know better than you. Well, I don't think you really do, because that was dumb.
that
Badger? Okay.
one thing about me is, I mean, everybody, hell, y'all know what I look like. Most people that have seen my channel know what I look like. And, all these people want you to dox yourself and be like, oh, well, where do you live? Oh, well, what city you live in? Oh, what block? Well, what are you going to do? What do you want that information for? Like,
They're hoping to
I'm-
find out where you work so they can get.
yeah,
you
exactly.
Yeah,
It's to somehow fuck with your life in a way that they can say, oh, see, we got him. I don't think I've ever hated anybody, despite all the shit talking that I do on the internet. I don't care enough to have to go after somebody. Everybody has their opinions. People are going to say whatever the fuck they want. I'm not going to get so ass mad that it's like, all right, I need to get you fired and ruin your life.
Yeah, people usually do that to themselves. They'll usually shoot themselves in the foot. But yeah, well, that's why I tell them, where do you live? Florida. There's a few of us down here. Come on, just knock on doors till you find me.
Yeah, same thing with me. It's like, I live in Houston, Texas. Go ahead, show up. I guarantee you're not going to be happy when you knock on the wrong door, whether it's mine or somebody else's.
Come on down to Florida, man.
I'd say where I live, but seeing as it's a town with a very specific purpose, you'd probably be able to eventually find me.
And I've been to
Cool.
Houston, and good luck finding anybody in that fucking city. The
Hey.
only place I've ever seen that literally there are two separate cities that have grown together in Houston.
I mean, there's technically like 3 at this point.
Well, I'm saying though, like I was down in the southern part, down by the Space Center.
Okay.
And I remember I had to go north of the city itself, and I'm going up over one of the 29,000 bridges in Houston. And I look out, and I'm literally seeing 2 separate sets of skyscrapers, like city, and then like about 2 miles away, city, and they're literally growing towards each other. And I'm like, this place is fucking. And then I didn't take the ring road, so I went through the center. I'm surprised I'm not still there. I love you laughing. You know exactly what I fucking went through, you bastard.
Yeah, enjoy 18 hours of traffic.
Oh my god, it was like 9:00 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I used to work downtown,
That, but
and working downtown, if I didn't leave from where I live at 6 o'clock in the morning, if I left any later than 6 a.m., it would take me 2 hours to get 30 minutes away.
I loved Houston, but I don't ever want to go back to that fucking city.
Well, Houston is weird, right? Everybody likes to talk about how all the major cities in Texas are blue, right? So Houston is always, for the most part, had a Democratic mayor. Dallas has a Democratic mayor that just gave up the Democrats. Austin is a liberal shithole. San Antonio is the same thing.
Weird.
But one thing, and this is why I was so fucking like on it when they said that Sheila Jackson Lee was going to run for mayor of Houston. I was oh my god. That's the same woman that said an AR-15 weighs as much as like a bag of bricks, and that like I was like she
literally went to Johnson Space Center and asked they could drive the Mars rover to where they planted the flag on the moon. And I'm like, oh god.
I was like, if you want to end up like Seattle, San Francisco, Portland, all these places, and go ahead and vote for Sheila Jackson Lee. If it happens that she gets elected, I'm fucking moving. I'll go live in the woods.
No, a job I had. Most of my business was in the triangle. You know, the kind of the Houston to San Antonio to north. What is that? DFW up north.
Yeah.
And that triangle in the middle was
Metroplex.
Yeah, that triangle of the major roads formed. That's where my business was. Places like College Station and the Woodlands and all that shit around there.
So, like, you mentioned how Houston grows together. So technically, we have from Houston, we've sort of absorbed Katy, the Woodlands, Humble. It's fucking nuts, and they keep. We have 610, that's the inner loop. Then we have the Beltway, that's the outer loop. Now we have 99, which is like the fucking big outer loop.
Yeah,
it's just getting, like rings.
God, this is getting insane.
It's like a tree at this point,
Houston. Okay, I've got to tell you, since you live there, I get to the airport. There's no car available. I'm pretty pissed off. So they finally find one for me. They give me a Camaro convertible for a rental. Okay, I love you, Texas. Now I love you, Texas. I pull it out of the airport. I turn left, and all of a sudden I look in my rearview mirror, and all I can see is this giant pickup truck with no shit steer horns on it, and written backwards so that I could read it in the rearview mirror is "Move your ass."
Yeah.
Right where I can see it, and that's all I can see is the grill of this truck. It's so close.
Houston's so fucking weird that you could go to the hood and you'll see a black guy riding a horse.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me. Nothing really shocks me.
And you're just like, yep, that's normal. That's Houston.
Yeah.
Better than Austin.
Fuck Austin.
I used to love San Antonio, but it's gotten kind of weird.
Almost everywhere the fucking crime rate has gone up. It doesn't matter where you move.
But I always said, if I was going to move somewhere in Texas, I'd probably move San Antonio. I just like the whole vibe of the place.
Yeah.
But last time I was there, I was like, I don't think I want to go here anymore.
But yeah, I found the Sheila Jackson Lee quote.
Oh my God.
She said, an AR-15 is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving, and the bullet that is utilized, a 50 caliber, these kinds of bullets need to be licensed and do not need to be on the street. That's the quote.
Yeah, if only there was a rifle that fired a 50 caliber, right?
They're the reason why I believe that I believe every person has the right to vote. I believe that every person has the right to pursue the ability to vote. I do not believe everyone should be allowed to vote because most people are too fucking stupid to be allowed to speak, much less articulate an argument, much less be able to decide who governs them. But that's authoritarian fascist rhetoric, so it's bad.
So
service guarantees citizenship.
I have to bring up, since you brought up voting.
I agree. I've been told.
There was, I'm sure we've all heard of The View.
Unfortunately.
So
Spew.
they were asking, well, again, what Colorado and what Maine did. They were saying, well, it's probably, if it goes to the Supreme Court, it's probably not going to happen, right?
Right.
And then one of the ladies that was on there asked Joy Behar, she's like, well, should we leave it up to the voters then? And she goes, no.
What? Leave it up to the... Oh, God.
Like who they want to vote for. Like who the candidate should be on the ballot.
Well,
should be right.
Oh, God.
And her answer was no. That people should not be able to choose who they vote for.
See, the people only exist to serve the aristocracy. This whole voting thing it's popularity contest. It's made to make aristocracy feel good about themselves.
This whole voting is a passing fad. It'll go away.
That was the best. That was the best Danny Fortuna accent I've ever heard in my life.
Good old Danny Fortuna, man.
Clue who that is.
He's hilarious to listen to, man. He gets so fucking wound up, man.
Well, I can't blame him.
Gotcha.
Because
I wanted to ask you, Wombat, are you still thinking about having your women of 40K?
I think
discussion and calendar.
I wanted to, but I think Swan is going to take that over.
Okay.
Calendar.
Yeah, I want to see if anybody was paying attention.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
they
man,
brought
that'd be fun.
they brought up the idea, and I was like, no, go ahead. You know, if you want to grow your channel, that'll probably do it.
Poor Swanee, she tries to be nice. She tries to be nice. She really does. Bless her little heart. You know.
You know, I'm perfectly fine pissing people off.
Right.
And that was what was insane about this whole fucking video that Serb graced us with, is that
Oh my God.
I woke up and it was like 35 new subscribers, and I was like, I don't know if this is good or bad.
Yeah, it's like,
and then it makes its way over to Wokehammer L's, and I'm like, oh no.
Now it's about to
explode. I'm so fucked. Because
great, fuck Cerberus.
They all hate follow that account.
Oh God, yes.
Just to wait and see if somebody says anything even remotely bad about them.
Well, have you been attacked by the anti-Semit Chudhammer anti-Semitism account?
I'm sure I have, because that's where that guy in the Discord came from, was from that video.
Oh, should have figured that. Yeah.
Which again, I'm
about the entire fucking time.
I'm gonna say this again. Somebody's saying that Jews control a vast majority of the media is not blatantly anti-Semitic. I'm standing by that.
I have
It depends on
a Jewish friend that would be agreeing with you right now.
I know. And that statement, as Shadow said, is it depends on the context that you're using that statement in. If you're just saying that, you can't really sit there and point at somebody and call them names when you don't know what the fucking context is.
Exactly.
Now, if they articulate it and argue that, if the articulation is that Jews control the media and they are using it to subvert Western culture in an attempt to create some kind of proletariat class that they might use as cattle for their space laser fuel, then yes, that is anti-Semitic. But simply going that most media is backed or owned by individuals of Jewish heritage, that is not anti-Semitic. That is a provable fact using sources like
Google.
The economic Forbes. You can prove it using Forbes. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, but again, most people would agree that first part, the latter, is probably a little bit more anti-Semitic. Or sorry, the former, not the latter.
Former, yeah, I was gonna say.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm agreeing with that guy. No, I take it back.
Big smile.
We got him now.
Oh God.
Get called a fucking anti-Semite.
I know. I'm a bigot. I'm a racist. I'm an anti-Semite, misogynistic person that hates women.
White supremacist.
And that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I would be the worst fucking white supremacist ever. Like, I'm half fucking Mexican. These motherfuckers would be like, he passes. It's fine.
Dude, same.
Hey,
same.
yo, essay. Listen, if you're black and voted Biden, man, you're good. You're good. That makes you white.
It's kind of like what I'm basically Euro trash mystery meat. It's like I would be a terrible white supremacist.
Yeah, same. It's like I don't. My positions are so fucking milquetoast, and the fact that I'm a person of color. Thank you. I don't care if somebody wants to say that I am white. I am actually a person of color. I am a mixed person of color.
Well,
therefore,
only if eggshell white's a color. So.
Oh yeah, I'm more like a beige.
Hey, look, if Elizabeth Warren can get away with it.
No, true.
Yeah. I am 50% Mexican. That's more than
50% more Mexican. No.
Yeah, I'm not Mexican enough for the Mexicans, and I'm not white enough for the white folks.
New York City.
Exactly.
At least you're not cute.
Yeah, thank God. I had a friend in Shadow. You'll probably be interested in this. Yeah, I have a friend whose parents are full-blown Cubans, right? immigrated to the United States from Cuba under Castro, and he can't for the life of him figure out why they vote Republican and why they were supporting Donald Trump.
I was just going to say, living in Florida, there is nobody more based than Cubans, especially older Cubans.
Because Cubans know what fucking fascism and communism looks like. They don't want that shit here.
They had a boat parade down here that was primarily Cubans. Was basically the theme of it was how Trump supportive can you make your boat? Man, they had a
look
contest. It was hilarious.
At this point, all you have to do is put a fucking American flag on there, and then you're a MAGA supporting Trump supporter, whatever the fuck.
But they went overboard as only Cubans can. It was fucking. One guy got his entire boat, right? His 65-footer wrapped in a basically Trump 20. I think it was 2020, but Trump 2020 support wrap for his entire boat.
How many bow bunnies were there? That's what I want.
So many gorgeous Cuban bow bunnies.
What the fuck is a bow bunny?
The girls in the bikinis.
Oh,
the bow of the boat.
Yeah.
They drive by and wave at you, and sometimes take their tops off. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty much all a bunch of Cuban gorgeous bow bunnies. Yes.
Interesting.
Welcome to Florida.
Give the Cubans the working guns in the uprising.
Oh, dude, trust me. You won't have to give them working guns. Trust me, they have them. All the guns.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes, but
going back to that point, all these people that have actually immigrated here legally from communist countries, from places like Venezuela, from Cuba.
Legally.
Yes.
Not illegally,
Yes, legally. That have legally come over from these types of places to actively get away from that shit. And yet, fucking white liberals can't understand why these people are going, hey, we see where this is going. We don't like it. We are we are actively going to fight against you.
It's like older Chinese that managed to escape communism.
Oh my God, dude. I saw so many Asian Trump supporters in fucking California back when all this shit was going on.
Imagine.
Because they were like, fuck you guys, we're voting for this guy. Well, how come? He's a racist. I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to vote for him.
Well, we'll never forget the rooftop Koreans.
Yeah.
We'll never forget the rooftop Koreans.
The reason why you've got all these, it's not white people, it's college-educated, academic white people that typically do this stuff. Because speaking as a college-educated, academic white person, there's an ego component. There is the belief that when I do it, it'll be correct. When I am in charge, it will be done correctly. In theory, it works. It just gets corrupted by all of these sorry, Korean letters. We went on a tangent. It's when I do it. It's a bunch of narcissistic bullshit. These people legitimately think that when the communist regime comes, they will be Mao, they will be Lenin, they will be Stalin, but they will be good people. They won't be morally compromised people. In actuality, they'll either be best case scenario being the ones that put the bullets in the guns that are used by the actual members of the party, or they will be facing the wall and have their brains splattered on a wall like Van Gogh's last painting. It'll be...
It's kind of like that meme of, but I thought I could make neurodivergent videos for the cause. Shut up and dig the ditch.
Yeah.
When the communist uprising happens, I will be making all this great mural art of what I want. Oh, that's so cool. I'll be making all the really cool uniforms and making sure they're not fascist. The reality. Dig your fucking graves, you...
Face the wall. Yeah. Oh, man.
Wait.
I'm typing.
Why don't you like the CCP? They're communists. Communism is amazing. I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't like them.
I like that. As Korean, I have the rooftop Korean mentality.
Same.
Oh, God, yes.
But
Mao liberated women.
Mao
gave women rights.
Yeah, liberate them from their lives. I've read the books.
Oh, yeah. You work potato field.
You work potato field and you get ration of grain. No, why wouldn't I get potatoes? It's my work. Yes, no. God, you give to state, and state decides what you need. State says you don't need potato, you need grain. But
If
this
you
is communism. You get what community says you need.
if you
And
want to,
bureaucrats need.
I'm sorry.
No, I like where this was going.
Quote,
Yeah.
I was just gonna,
Please
I was gonna
continue.
quote Animal Farm. See, the reason why the other animals only need the grain is the fact that they don't need to think. The pigs, or sorry, the bureaucrats, they need the apples and the milk so that they can.
And the brandy. I think they were drinking brandy too.
That was later, yeah.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say
Getting
is,
with because of that.
if you ever have somebody that is pushing the Chinese communist thing, just ask them if they've read the 3 books by Frank DeCotter and watch them have a fucking meltdown.
Well, it's
And then
just like when Shadow fucking redid his room when he was streaming, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know what to put behind me." I was just like, "Oh, well, on one side you have Mein Kampf, and on the other you have what was it? Something Trotskyism or something? I can't remember what I told you."
His other book, Minecraft.
I think it was My Struggle, and now I remembered the other one and I forgot it. I'll have to check the stream.
Wait a minute, My
Yeah,
Struggle.
no,
That's the book that woman that used to run Harvard wrote, wasn't it?
Oh, that my
Yeah, it's right after she
translates
gave
to
her
German
my
Mein
Getty-
Kampf.
No. But I mean, literally, that's the book she wrote right after she gave her Gettysburg Address. It's a plagiarism joke. I'm sorry, it was bad.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask, is it the plagiarism joke? Okay.
Yeah.
Who are Uyghur camps fucking favorite?
Oh my god, we.
Oh, wait, was it
Funny
the?
how they don't care about them? You know, if you bring them up, it's like, who? What? I don't care.
It was like the Encyclopedia of Trotskyism. It's like something like that.
What the fuck?
Gotcha.
What do we have now in
No,
chat? Okay, somebody fucking around.
Korean.
Oh, yeah, I thought I recognized Korea, but I didn't see the picture or anything. I was afraid we had a bot. I was going to start posting, you know.
They said, what
I-
the fuck? They asked about female space marine, said what the fuck, and now they're just www. On the Uyghur thing, I actually have a really funny theory. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So, Mongols were illiterate originally. They didn't have a written language. When they conquered the Uyghur kingdoms, they made the Uyghurs the people that wrote things down. So I have this theory that after Mao's revolt, Mao's cultural revolution, and they destroyed everything, they didn't have any history books on who fucked up China as badly. They didn't know it was the Mongols who fucked up everything. And they just recently randomly found a book that was written in Uyghur script that detailed the invasion, so they just think the Uyghurs were the ones who broke them.
Oh,
That's my personal theory as to what they're doing.
I mean, that.
Flawless logic.
I don't know. I'm trying to formulate my thoughts because,
I'm sorry.
Sin-
It is intentionally a mind fuck. I'm sorry.
sins of the past and all type shit. It's like
I'm sorry for the intentional mind fuck. I didn't realize it'd be that bad. I'm sorry, Combat.
brain broken. I can't.
I cannot think today. I has the dumb.
Yes, exactly. According to some people, that's every day.
Hold on. I'll check. I'll check.
Been listening to your wife again, have you?
Oh, that was it. The fucking identity politics shit. Now I remember.
Gotcha. I'm downloading something Ravelek posted, or I believe yesterday, and I'm gonna.
Oh,
post that
God.
for you. I'm sorry.
Why?
Don't post anything he posts. Trust me.
It's an apology.
To whom?
You. I'm sorry. Here you go. It didn't save as a GIF.
You mean a GIF?
Damn it, it didn't save as a GIF. No, it's the one he posted where it's like the person in the cosplay that spins around and they're.
Oh yeah, that one. Wow, that's I really didn't look at that. It's not proper, but
no,
she was.
He kept hinting in the chat that was actually a he.
It better not be.
Girl,
It better not be.
fucking Toril had like a full-blown schizo reaction to it.
It better not be, because that just reinforces my trust issues in life.
Okay, I found it because
Okay, wait, whoa. What did Nurse
Yeah,
do?
be specific what you found.
Oh, no.
Is weird porn or
no. I'm not looking at that. This is somebody that actually said something thoughtful on one of my videos. But I'll let. Are you still looking for whatever degenerate nonsense Ravlik posted?
No, I'm done. Fucking, like, if you didn't want to post it here, why'd you post it on Twitter?
we know you're Slaaneshi. We know what you're like. Remember, some of us deal with you every day.
Okay, yeah. This was the video I made of that one dude that was talking to Bits that said that the Jews are tyrannids. This, that, and the other.
God, yes, that was so. I'm like,
but this is actually a well thought out counter argument, right?
from the point of the tyrannids, or from
no. From the point of the social justice crowd. And the person said, I can understand your frustration with how bombastic some people are in their criticisms, but still I think some of them are making valid observations on the 40K franchise. I agree with you that it is wrong for people to think a love of 40K is the same as endorsing the political systems and military decisions in this made-up world. And this person says, I don't think you need to be too worried about discussing political themes in this inherently political franchise. These conversations can be one of the most fun parts of being in the fandom, even if people disagree on their interpretations. I think it is wrong to fully reject all political interpretation in Warhammer when there is so much obvious satire and political commentary.
oh god, every time they say that, my fucking teeth hurt.
By our moral standards today, all 40K factions are cartoonishly immoral and reprehensible, and that it is a clear point the creators are making. I see no problem with discussing themes of oppression in this fantasy world. Fiction can and should depict bad people and bad actions to encourage the audience to reflect on how it could relate to our own lives. Now, keep in mind that response is to this guy saying that Tyranids are a racist dog whistle for Jews, and Bit saying gene stealers are trans people, orcs are black people, Tau are Asian people, and that most of the Imperial Herald stuff is racist. So now tell me everything that person said, how you reached that conclusion and you formed that counter argument, given everything that I just told you, the context.
Because they didn't watch the video, they just watched like 30 seconds and posted their opinion.
Right? Like, all of that is...
It's a fucking...
I can respect how well thought out that answer is. But
I can't.
That has nothing to do with people so ingrained in ideology that they see everything as racism.
Well, I can't respect it because as soon as they start going satire, as soon as they start talking about satire and 40K, I immediately tune out what else they're saying.
Well, it's worse than that. They're using the
evil actions to inspire good, because no doubt they're talking about the Imperium, which can't judge the Imperium by 21st century morality. That would be like judging what World War I America did, or World War II America did to like SSPOWs, or what we had to do to Japan. Like, that's applying that kind of standard to modern America. It's fucking bullshit. Because you can't apply that. You can't apply the standard of treating your people fairly when if you're on a Forge World and you give your people the 8-hour work week they need to feel like good, you don't make enough las guns, billions of worlds burn. If you can't defend that agri world by throwing tens of thousands of conscripts into the fucking meat grinder and you lose that world, dozens of solar systems starve to death. You can't have an egalitarian, goody two-shoes Star Trek Federation type thing. And like, hell, even though the Star Trek Federation has the damage calcs to like take out anything one shot in 40K, they wouldn't be able to keep up the Star Trek Federation without some kind of authoritarianism leaking in, because there's just too much evil shit in 40K. can't apply modern morality to it. I'm gonna stop
Well,
talking now because I'm getting fucking heat. I apologize.
Well, and there's one more subtle thing that this person is doing, and this is the last vestige or last little tool in the toolbox. They're trying to play the most sane person in the room.
Yep.
That's what that comment is.
Sorry for
Not saying what you said is wrong, Shadow, but that's what they're trying to do. Everybody else is, at each other's throats. Looks, guys, can't we all just get along?
It's the middle. It's the look. I'll just take the middle of the road point of view.
Yeah, and I think it was somebody like Bohemond or somebody that said like the centrism route doesn't make sense for something like this.
Not in
And-
this context.
Yeah.
No.
Like there are certain times when you can't really, I don't know. It's like trying to apply logic to something using a frame of reference that really doesn't matter in the
Well,
context,
One of the things, and like Shadow mentioned about the work week, go look at what work conditions were like during World War II, when America fully geared up. And what happened if you didn't pull extra hours, if you didn't do this, if you didn't do that? It was damn near struggle sessions in some ways. So this sudden attitude of, well, I'm going to apply it to this because it doesn't make sense. If your entire universe is under attack from every direction, you're going to get some really, really shitty stuff going on.
Well, it also doesn't help whenever you have Black Library's own authors saying there's no good guys ever.
Yeah.
I think it was one guy, I can't remember what author it was, that was saying, but we have heroes. There's no good guys, but we have heroes. It's like, all right, well then
They're all
what?
salamanders.
Hey, there's a lot of Imperial Guard in there too.
It's like, what's the goal here? What are you trying to accomplish? Like you make a statement saying there's no good guys, but we have heroes, and
Middle of the road again. See,
And
guys,
that's-
I'll meet you in the middle on this one.
that's coming from an author.
Yeah. Well, they
I think that's
they
more
have
of
to tread that line very carefully.
I think it's more of a miscommunication of what they mean by good guys. Like if you take for example GI Joe, right? Like there is a clear good faction, and there is a clear terrorist piece of garbage that needs to be rounded up and exterminated on sight, being Cobra.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I was just gonna say G.I. Joe.
It's 'cause he's white, isn't
I
it?
watched G.I. Joe as a kid.
Yes. That's 'cause he's
Cobra
white.
did nothing wrong.
No.
Or isn't GI Joe like the name of the organization?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But Cobra did nothing wrong.
Oh no,
It just fucking blew his brain, man.
I-
It's now leaking through his
Cobra's-
ears.
I picked the side with less
Cobra
white
is a
people.
Scaly. Cobra is a scaly. He did everything wrong. Fuck you.
No, he had the coolest uniforms though.
Yeah.
And they never missed.
They were
Hey,
like Hugo
hey,
Boss,
hey!
you know?
I was about to say there is a certain faction in history that had the best strip, but they weren't very nice people. We all know this. It's not white supremacist to say that. I'm just saying they had some nice clothes.
But so
Cool cars
I
too.
get the argument of like you don't want to fight for I do not want to fight for the Imperium. In the same vein, I would love to fight for say GI Joe. I'd love to fight alongside the Autobots. I don't want to fight alongside the Imperium. I don't want to live in the Imperium. If that's the argument you're trying to articulate of it is not a good universe, it is not a fun universe, it is a brutal bio-universe where everyone is doing what they need to survive, then by that logic, no good guys make sense. But if you are arguing that there is no one with any sort of moral high ground, that's shit. The Imperium has the highest moral high ground in that setting by not being Chaos and the Drukhari and the Eldar. Fuck the Eldar.
Well, remember though, they always have one they can go to, and it's that very, very annoying greater good. Forgetting who the greater good really indicates. It's not
the
the
Tau
greater
are-
good of the people; it's the greater good of the leadership.
Even if it wasn't about the leadership, the Tau are effectively a genocidal ethno state. They just do it slow. They just do it low and slow.
Yeah.
They take their time. And paired with that, GW they have the Tau have the thickest fucking plot armor. I'm sorry, like to any Tau fans out there, they have the literally there was apparently back in eighth I think it was, or maybe it was ninth. No, it was eighth when like they were doing those narrative campaigns that like released all the stuff that you needed to make like your custom Space Marine chapter or your custom Eldar craft world. Like you could like pick a chapter trait. Originally the plan was going to be, I think it was like Imperial Guard, Death Guard, and Tau fighting or something like that, and they were going to send Festus to fight the Tau. And then they realized Festus alone could solo the Tau Empire. So they canned that. Because his ship and his crew are so freaking powerful, and the Tau have no counter to demons, they would just lose. Each of the septs would just blink out like lights on a Christmas tree. Blip, 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 on. So they scrapped that, and they had his ship go somewhere else. Because the Tau can't exist in 40k if they ever get into the thick of it.
Exactly. Yeah, they're literally the overwhelming. When I got back into 40k after many years break, my first thought was, I'm looking at a map and I'm like, how the fuck is that there? That's a speed bump. That's a fucking speed bump. And on that note, I think I'm going to log on out, guys. I've got to work in the morning, and it's 11 o'clock here. So
yeah, we've been rambling for how long now? 2 hours?
Forever.
2.5 hours. But I was trying not to laugh because I think it was Ravlik that was like, he's a Nazi with a sombrero. I was trying not.
Wait, Mexican Nazi, so you're a Nazi?
Yeah, that's it.
He's Argentinian.
I was trying not to fucking cry. So I was like,
what was there was an actor, and every time I see his name, hang on.
Combat, I have a question. If I take your face, put it on Hans Landa, and then give you a sombrero, would that be crossing a line in regards to memes?
That would be funny as shit, actually.
No, I'm good. I'll allow it.
Right, well, if it worked with the motivation to do it, expect that in your timeline.
Sweet. I'm gonna make it my wallpaper at work.
I changed my mind on my opinion about the Tau. Because Feyrax says she wants to see the Necrons destroy them. No, just to be contrarian. No. Let the Tau live.
Oh, here's the guy. This actor, and every time I see him, since we've been talking about this, guy's name is Diego Klattenhoff. He has blonde hair and blue eyes, and his first name is Diego, and his last name is Klattenhoff. And I'm like, oh my god! So is his family from Argentina? I mean,
okay, hang on, hold on before you leave.
Yeah.
Where is his Poncho Moller? His name Poncho Moller is I can't. God damn it! I'm not disabling my fucking ad blocker, you fucks. So, Poncho Moller is a little person, right? And I don't know if he's Argentinian or not. Hold on. If he's Argentinian, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking die.
I think I made Feyrax mad, and Ravlik is agreeing with me.
Poncho Moller. There he is. Hold on. Where's he from?
Oh, it's our favorite Russian.
Y'all still.
He was born in Santiago, Chile.
Close enough. Enough.
So Poncho Moller.
Basically Argentina. That is Argentina.
Close enough. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Poncho Moller.
It's Argentina adjacent.
I thought Diego Klattenhoff was the worst shitty Argentinian name until that one.
And this is absolutely gonna get me fucking demonetized if I put this image up there.
There's a picture of him.
Yes. But it's from a movie, YouTube. It's from a movie, okay? It's from a movie. Can y'all see the chat?
I'm checking.
You're chicken. Okay, my browser froze. Hang on, I'll catch up here in a second.
fucking mute my mic.
Okay. Oh shit! What did I miss? Ah, damn it!
Just Pancho Moeller plays a tiny psychotic Nazi while speaking Spanish,
What?
and it's one of the in the if y'all have never seen 31, it's kind of like the Devil's Rejects. It's the craziest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. Like
Is this a movie or something?
yeah, it's a movie.
Shit show Torolf.
Why do I imagine that he talks like this?
No. He talks with a Hispanic accent, and he's, you know, like you would expect a cholo to talk like the whole time, but the whole time he's in Nazi regalia, and it's just like, who the fuck came up with this? Like somebody was like, you know what? We need to find out what happened to the Nazis when they came to South America, and then we're gonna make them a tiny person. I don't know what the political. Yeah. So Torloff's accent, but Nazi.
Okay, but literally, this actor that I was talking about is from Canada. Bullshit. He is not from Canada.
It's like,
Just like Justin is actually half Cuban.
Oh my god.
Justin Trudeau is actually half Cuban.
Through his dad.
Justin Castro.
All right, guys. You guys have a good evening. We'll talk to you all later.
I'm gonna hop out too. Not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
God.
Torloff.
See you, gents.
Torloff got here too late. I'm probably gonna stream on Sunday, per usual. Now that the holidays are over,
Okay, cool.
so we'll get back to a schedule here.
Son of Rurik isn't speaking, so I guess he doesn't care.
Ooh, what?
On Twitter, he's Torolf Rurikson.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
no.
here.
No, he's here. He said
He's not
cool.
speaking. I don't hear him.
Oh, I don't know what to tell you, man.
I can hear him.
Muted.
Oh yeah, fuck you then, CIO.
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. Discord's just being incredibly homosexual.
That's fucking racist.
Yep. Yeah, that's how we're gonna end this.
I am very racist.
We're gonna end this.
Really against white kids.
We're gonna end this on a note of racism.
The former leader of Harvard, you can actually say in chat anywhere in the world to her, "Ha, gay," and they can't be mad at you. Later.
But yeah, I'll